What up, y'all? It's Chris Weathers, aka Shorty C94. You see this heat out here. Whew. It's 98 degrees outside right now. Hot as ever, and it's after 7. But anyway, we're here for yet another episode of Shorty Sneaker Conversations. This is episode 156 with my host, Larry, my guest, Larry Leslie L. Boogie, 32 CEO, Fly Kicks Only. All right. What's up, SL? Zach, how you gonna be in the show? What's up, Ash? How you gonna be in the show if it's for Larry? Oh, I just sent the invite, so hopefully we will have our guest soon. He'll be back on here, Zach. Don't worry. Okay, just sent the invite again. Yeah, it is hot down here. Well, for everybody who's in here, what y'all done copped? Ash, what you done bought? You done bought any new pennies? Zach, I know what you done bought. Let's see. We'll send the request again. Oh, man, it's saying he's unable to join. All right, I'll send it again. Hopefully, we will get him soon. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Hold on, let me make sure I got my
Yeah, there we
thing
go.
so we can pull it back a little bit and get the background. There's a couple little sneakers back there, ain't too many.
Oh, okay.
Cause
Let's see some
I
Travis.
just kind of put some Travis's. This is my favorite. This is my baby. This is my
Oh,
baby
the
right here.
pause. Okay,
Yeah, it's
all
my
right.
baby. Got
Yeah,
a couple different things going,
yeah. I was just talking
but
to Zach the other day when when I was still working for Dex. Owner wanted me to come to the event. He was like, "Yeah, but we can't get you the shoe." And I'm like, "Why am I going to come to the event if I can't
oh
get the shoe?
man, right?
Am I supposed
What's
to
the
watch
point?
everybody else come up?"
What's the point? What's the
Yeah.
point?
Well, you know, some people clout chase. So, but
Hey, you know what's crazy? Now that you mentioned that, I was actually running late. I was the third to last person to put the raffle in. Second number called.
wow.
So I have a tendency of my being fashionably late, and it actually paid off
Oh,
this
okay.
time.
That's good. That's good. That's
So,
good. Yeah, I got the Levi's, but I was never able to get the cause.
oh, the
So,
Levi's, I love the Levi's. I got those too. They put away. I had so much stuff that I kind of go with what I had now available. I didn't want to have too much going on, because this is strictly about. I mean, it's about sneakers, and sneakers is my love. So,
for sure.
I just try to keep what I can.
Yeah, man. Well, I always start off by asking, what's the most important thing you've been able to take from the world since the pandemic happened?
Man, listen, self entrepreneurship. Um, I was actually laid off from my steel job. I was worked at a steel company called Samuel Steel. And at that particular time, I was there probably about 3 or 4 years already. And as far as the pandemic, man, it's just you have to be able to not have. I love it to where I don't have to have now my life in the palm of somebody else's hand. Okay. Now, when I say that because these companies laid off a lot of
Right.
people. A lot of people got laid off. I happen to be one of those people. Now, what I do now is I do sneakers, and I run a package delivery company. But to that's just what I do now. To go back to the original statement, um, being laid off pushed me into fly kicks only more. It pushed me all the way through. Okay. I was still doing sneakers and stuff. Still always been a collector first. always a collector first. A lot of these people now, and these cats now, the hype beast era is here, Chris. There's not a lot of genuine people that actually truly love sneakers like
No,
we
that
do.
is true.
Okay,
That is true.
And I'm talking about not just sneakers. I'm talking about we here smell the sneakers. We you know, everything that to touch it, everything. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about for me. Sneakers, man, it's my heart, man. I love it. There's nothing more that I can really say about it. I have a general knack for it.
No, I get you.
You know, so other than that though, but the pandemic pushed me into all the way into fly kicks only, which is self entrepreneurship, and I've been rolling actually, man, since 2019. I've been rolling, taking care of the family on this and everything. Okay, I mean, it's paid my bills and then some. So as reselling to the public and as a collector. So it's not just reselling. It's always collector first. It's always, you know, people think oh, it's just a customer. No, it's not just a customer. And me working at Foot Locker for the years amount of time that I have, I created a lot of relationships. It's not just customer based. These people are not just only customers to me. I have a friend basis with them now. I can pull up to you, drop your shoes off. I'm talking about your kids, what you did last week, what your kids doing this week. It's more personable than anything. So,
No, I get you.
yeah.
I get you. Yeah, you know, I have to say when you were at the Champs Outlet in Solon, I bought at least 7 or 8 Adidas Kobe's
Yes.
from you out there.
Yeah.
2014 to 15, like my now ex-wife and I were living like kind of down the way, but we would drive all the way out to Solon.
That's
I'm
crazy.
like, I got to see what they got.
Right.
You know, we go to
Right.
Strongsville sometimes. We come to Solon sometimes.
Right.
So, because I mean, you know sneakers, you know the Kobe's. I always say I'm gonna make a post about it later.
Okay.
The Adidas Kobe's are for the real Kobe fans.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, in my closet in there, I've got a couple of them. I've got the Crazy 8, the white with the black. I've got the it always think it's the Kobe. What's the one, Chris, that looks like a spaceship? I got the Mardi Gras one, the purple. I think I can't remember which Kobe it was from Adidas. You know, look like the spaceship.
It's well, they were called Adidas the Kobe, but I think when they brought them back, they called them the Crazy One.
Crazy One. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got the Mardi Gras one back there, and I like a lot of stuff, man, that I actually can't fit anymore. It was, you know, my foot grew, but I still can't. I hold on to that shit, man. It's memorable to me. And you know, as you know, Champs Outlet, that was the shit, man. Wow.
Yeah.
You can't. I would love to just take a time machine and go back to that time, just to that time.
Yeah. I've worked with Foot Locker like 4 or 5 different times, so I would always hit up the outlets during the 50s, you know, just be feasting. You know what I mean? Just no, I think mine was 441052. I think that was my play.
Mine was 303596. That's
it. Yeah, that's old school. Cause like, and what's crazy is right before we moved down here, you know, I worked at Richmond.
Correct. I remember that.
2019 and 2020, and they gave me the same number. Like the same number. The same number. My number was the oldest number. You know, there. Okay. You know, and I was only there for like a year, but I couldn't work at Hibbett anymore because they kept robbing the bank we were banking at. So you know, but yeah. Well, we'll go back to the beginning. Okay. What was that first sneaker moment or sneaker memory for you? That first sneaker that was just like
Jordan Fire Red 5s. I remember it was like it was yesterday. Ooh, hold on, my thing slide. Okay, there we go. Hold on, let me see.
I was going through that before you got on.
Man, damn, man, I got to get something. Okay, here we go.
I broke my both of my tripods, so
I'm really? Yeah, I'm struggling. I thought I was gonna try to find one of the kids' ones, but that's their shit. They've got their stuff. So okay, let's go. All right, we're good. The Fire Red 5s.
Okay. The black tongue or the silver tongue?
Silver tongue.
Okay. My favorite 5.
Yeah. I remember that, man. That was the first Jordan I ever had. My father bought me, man, and I'm talking about, it was everything to me. 23 on the side, the net. It was all everything. It was like magic, man. And believe it or not, man, my mom couldn't afford a lot of things when I was growing up. We were in a single family home, and different things like that. My dad was in the picture, and he was the one that actually would buy, the Jordans and the school stuff, because like I said, my mom couldn't afford that stuff. So that's kind of why I believe I have the problem that I have now. You probably have the same problem I have. Is when we see a good sneaker, we got to have it. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about hype. It's not just about what's hot, who's wearing it. No, I get it because I like it. With the Fire Red 5, I stayed up all night. I slept with that shoe, man, on the side of my bed. I was waiting for. I didn't even have a Jordan shirt or nothing to go with it. I think I had like a little Nautica polo or something that I had to just go with it, and some straight leg stonewashed jeans. Okay, and it was everything to me though, man. I mean, I slept with that shoe the whole week. I had it, man. When I first got it, it was just great. I smelled it every 5 minutes. But that was one of my greatest, the greatest sneaker moment for me, minus my cause. It's got special meaning for the cause. We can get into that a little later. But the 5, that was the one for me. That was the one, and it's actually I didn't know that my father didn't have enough money to. I asked him probably about a year ago. I said, Dad, you know what? Why you never got no Jordans? He said, son, I couldn't afford it my damn self. I said, well, wait a minute. You bought them from me? He said, yeah, I bought them for you. I didn't have enough money to buy 2 pairs. So I think it was Father's Day last year Father's Day. I pulled up on him and I bought him the exact same shoe he bought me, the Fire Red 5. It wasn't the exact one from that year, but it was the newer one. And he was like, man, it brought tears to his eyes, man. It was everything. He's like, man, I wanted that shoe and I couldn't get it. I said, you got it now. And there's more to come with that. Whenever you want something, just call me,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let me just address the comments. Yeah, act like I ain't never just had a goatee before. Damn, okay? I shaved my beard off. I shave it off every 2 to 3 months and start anew. Damn. What's up, funny ball out? Zach,
yeah, I see Zach on there.
What's up, Tierra? Okay. I have a similar, instance. I always tell a story. I had a couple of Jordans before, but when my dad came home, I was in 4th grade. It was 1991.
Okay.
He had the entire Air Jordan 6 capsule, other than the flight suit.
Okay.
He had the short set, the hat, the bag, and of course, the sneakers. And 1991 was the first NBA season that I was following the NBA. Like, I was watching games, and I was raised as a Lakers fan. Y'all know that. But I was just obsessed with Michael Jordan. I tried to see every Bulls game I could, and it's the only time I could take seeing the Lakers get beat.
Gotcha.
Because it was just the Bulls' time. So, but that infrared 6, that black infrared 6, like,
that's a cold shoe, Chris.
Larry, it was glowing, man. The infrared was glowing, and I was just like, oh my God. Like, and my father didn't get them for me. He was like, yeah, I didn't get them for you, but we're going to go downtown, Tower City. We're going to get on the Rapid, go downtown. We're going to see Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the one with Kevin Costner. And you can get some shoes, whether it be the Jordans. I had the choice between the Jordans and the Trainer SC, the Bo Jackson.
Okay. The Bo Jackson.
Black and gray one with the 34 on the back.
Oh, that's the one. They I don't know when they're coming with that. They need to come on.
Yeah, because they haven't came with that. I think the last time they came with that, that was back when I was at Villa. That was like 2010. And it was made like shit, so I didn't even buy it. Like, Auburn was made way better than the Raiders. But I really wanted both, and I didn't know all about my parents' money, but I know that they had the money where at the time I could have gotten both. They were like, nah, you can just get one and some clothes. Okay. And, they got me a Jordan 5 book bag, which I found one on eBay. Like, I have, it's like $800. So I'm like, yeah, it's not going to happen. But, I'll send you a picture of it after we get off the live.
Okay.
It's wild though. It's raw.
Okay.
But yeah, those kind of stories, you know, when somebody tells something like you with that 5 or me with that 6,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I know that it's really, you know, the
Yeah.
love, you know,
Yeah.
it's into
It's
it.
for the love of it. Yeah, for sure.
That's what you call it, DTLR Villa. Well, when I worked at Villa, it was called
Yeah,
Villa. DTLR didn't buy it
exactly.
until like 2018, 2019, right before I met you.
Yeah.
Only Converse shoes I'm putting on these dogs is Shea shoes. Sorry. I have my opinions on that, you know what I'm saying, but I'm gonna say that for another time. I might mess around and get fired in here, talk about what I think about, you know, somebody from Converse and Nike you might be watching.
Yeah.
But
Right. I got
what was that next shoe that was like, all right, I'm in this?
Okay, the next shoe for that was actually the Flight. I want to say it was the Flight One. I want to say it was the shoe the Scottie Pippen wore. The first one it wasn't actually Scottie's shoe.
Oh, probably the Flight Light.
Flight Light.
Okay,
That's what it was. All black. Flight Light.
White swoosh.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. That was another one for me that I really loved. That was the next one. I'm trying to go back as far as I can remember, man. I got my, my medicine kind of takes my memory away a little bit. But that was the next one, and I think after that, I got into when actually Pippen came into. No, actually, you know what? The next shoe after that was the Jerry Stackhouse Feli.
Oh, the spaghetti.
All black, because they had the North Carolina blue with the white, but then they had the black too. The black one. Now, mind you, I told you my mom couldn't afford getting me a lot of shoes. One Christmas, she said, "Hey, you want these sneakers?" I said, "Yeah." They were $84.99 at the time. $84.99. My mom said, "Hey, you can either get these sneakers and maybe one or two outfits, or you can not get the sneakers and get a whole bunch of other stuff." I chose the sneakers. I had sneakers, socks, and PJs for that Christmas. That was it. My brother, he got the light blue pair. We used to alternate shoes. We wore the same size at the time, so it was cool.
Yeah.
But the Jerry Stackhouse Feli was the next one. Also the Grant Hill too. Grant Hill, was it Grant Hill 1 with the patent leather all the way around the side, the blue patent leather?
That's
the 2. So the 2. I didn't like the 3 after that. I think it was the 3, the run ball or whatever. I didn't like that ziggy zaggy high. No, but that one, man. Those shoes that was back in the day, man. When it was like it was crazy, man. If you had some of them shoes on, man, it was like because now don't get it twisted. When I couldn't get those shoes, I was wearing Spaldings. I know you remember Payless at Southgate.
Oh yeah.
My mother took me there one time, got me the Elijah ones with the big 34 on the side.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for some of those right now.
And the big 34 on the side, man. I wore them boys. People were like, "Oh, what's those?" The Elijah ones. I remember the British Knights, Ratch Techs. I had the LA Gears. It was a lot of different things, man, that we can't even get now, Chris, that I would love to have again.
They don't even know. Like I remember this was 2017. Okay. As a family, the three of us, we were in the, I know it's called Gabe's now, but I always call it Gabriel Brothers. The one that was near our house is in Willoughby on Euclid. They had the Derek Coleman British Knights. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, these are only $29.97. But like, we had just bought the house. Okay. So that was 2016. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just, because there were other shoes at stake. You remember 2016? It was that top 3 one came out of nowhere. The True Blue 3, Space Jam 11,
a lot
and
of stuff.
The White, Black, and Red 9. They were all within like a week or 2 of each other. I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to get all of them. So I got all of them except the 9s, and I had to not get those British Knights.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I got lucky, and she went back and bought them for me and gave them to me on my birthday.
Oh, that's cool. That's
I
cool.
have them, the Derek Coleman British Knights. So it's the only pair of BKs I have. But yeah,
Okay.
that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't know about that. That's
No,
why people be hating on me wearing
man.
Converses. I'm like, cool.
No, no. Chris, you between you and Zach, y'all got every color Converse weapon that I've ever, and I have none of them. I have none of them. None of them,
Done?
believe it or not. I have none, man. I have
Oh,
none.
man.
I really wasn't a big fan of the weapons, but looking at it's still a great shoe, man. The nostalgia on the shoe is great. Larry, Magic, it's still one of the prime things and the prime kicks. A lot of people don't understand it. The newer kids don't know nothing about it. No, zero.
Yeah. Because people be like, nah, but I'm like, man, I was young, but I was there. Like, the weapon was more popular than the Jordan 1
Mm-hmm.
and the Jordan 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell
Mm-hmm.
people, at least
Mm-hmm.
in our area, Cleveland, Northeast Ohio, I don't feel like Nike truly took off until the 3, the Air Revolution, the Air Max 1, 87, 88. That's when Nike really took off. Because
Mm-hmm.
niggas wasn't fucking with the Jordan 1. Like, it was on sale.
Yep. Nobody was messing with it. I remember going into Rando, athlete's foot, all of that. Man, foot action downstairs, all of that stuff, man. They don't know, man, about that, man. They don't know about that era, man.
Well, look, what high school did you go to?
Bedford
And
High
when did you
School.
come out?
Bedford High School 2000.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I didn't
Yep,
realize we was that
2000.
close to the,
Yeah,
because I'm
2000.
Shaker in 99. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so
100%.
So we was in high school during that last Jordan run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was an interesting time
Yes, it
because
was.
I'll say 8th grade for you, 9th grade for me.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the best sneaker school year of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I can agree with you on that. I can agree with
I'm
you
actually
on
in the middle of making a reel for this because I'm like, all right, you start the year with the Air Max 95,
that.
the Air Veer,
Mm-hmm.
and the fancier
The Air
Veer
Veer.
called the Air Turmoil.
I got people asking me about the Air Veer right now. They're like, dude, is they ever going to bring that back? I said, I don't know, man. They need to start tapping into it.
Yeah, like, I remember I was working at Foot Action at Leon Harvard when they came out in 03,
Mm-hmm.
and they were popular. Then they brought them back in 2013. I was, with Next by then,
Right.
and we didn't really sell them that great. And they brought out the black and white one again, but it wasn't white like the OG or the 03.
Mm-hmm.
It was like pearlized.
Correct.
So
I remember that.
buy it.
I remember that.
Yeah. But I should have. Because my pair from 03 is starting to crumble. But yeah, so you start the year with those 3: the 95, the Air Veer, the Air Turmoil, the Speed Turf.
Mm-hmm.
That was also like back to school, and it was just coming in waves. The next wave was the DT Max 3, the Dion, the 96 Dion, the 11s, and the Penny 1s.
Wasn't the Air Mission in there somewhere too? I thought the Air Mission was in there somewhere too.
The Air Mission was
who was that?
That was the year before. That was 94.
Okay.
That was everybody's back to school shoe in 94. I remember that.
Air Mission.
The white and blue one, they had a white and green one, white and red. Niggas ain't really had a black one.
The all black, black with the white,
And I regret not getting that at Next because we had those at Next for dirt. I just didn't buy them.
Man.
Full. But yeah, it just kept coming in waves. The next wave after the 11s, the Dions, and the Pennies was the Rodmans.
Yeah.
The Air Max Up Tempo, and the Grant Hill too. We'll include the Reeboks in there as well. Everybody came back to school from Christmas break with either the Concords or the Grant Hill 2.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
High schools maybe realize that these kids, going to Shaker, it's real rich kids there. But
between Shaker and Heights, y'all were the schools.
Yeah.
You guys were the schools.
But y'all had some girls though. Like I stayed with my aunt in Bear Creek in 11th grade, which was 97, 98. So I used to be out in Bedford half the time on Bear Creek, and I would I'm like, damn, man, maybe I should just go to school out here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. But to end the year with the Air more up tempo, the Griffey 1, the Air Max 96, the Air Trainer Max 96. There's so many shoes in that school year where I wished I had a job. Like I didn't start working until '97,
Okay.
but it was so many shoes in that school year that high school for us as a whole was good. You
Yeah,
know,
it was. Definitely.
you coming out in 2000, so you came out right at the beginning of the first part of the retro era.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
4s, 5s,
Mm-hmm.
and 6s.
Yep.
Oh man, good times.
Good times.
So where other than Randall would you go to get your shoes?
Well, Randall was the prime
Of
location
course.
for me. Where else did I go? I went to was in EC at the time. Was it Foot Action?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was a Foot. Yeah, Foot
Yeah,
Action. And those are really my only two prime spots. Randall more so because I used to stay in Rockside Towers.
Okay.
So me and a group of friends, we either walk or ride bikes to the mall. That was it. And so that was our spot. We were right there. So, yep.
Yeah, Randall. We've never recovered from losing Randall as our sneaker mall in Cleveland. We've never recovered.
Not at all. There's no mall in Cleveland that to me now could even hold a torch to Randall, man. I mean, it's just
Nah. You're right.
They can't, man.
Because think about it. One time you had every Foot Locker extension. You had Lady, Kids, Champs, Foot Action. Before and after Foot Locker, you had Athlete's Foot. You had
City Blue was in
City
there
Blue.
too.
Finish Line. You had Finish Line. You had Next. You had at one point VIP Sports was in there.
It felt like it was like 20 sneakers. You could go anywhere in the mall and grab some. Mm-hmm. Athlete's Foot used to have a lot of the sleepers though. I remember that Athlete's Foot used to have a lot of sleepers to me.
Of course.
So
hey, funny ball out. Hey, you wasn't born until '99. You didn't really get to see what we're talking about. It was already kind of over with by then.
They don't even know about the Orange Julius and what Jeepers. They don't.
It was upstairs.
They don't know about that. Oh, this is good time.
Hey, but he's a good dude. Hey, funny ball out. You would have loved the way Randall was. Beechwood can't hold a candle to Randall. Because what you got in Beechwood? You got Hype, which is resellers. You got Next. You got
JD Sports. You got DTLR now.
I can't believe it. DTLR is in Beechwood.
I couldn't believe it.
We have to talk about that later.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. What else you got? You got Next.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's all you got in there now. Oh, you got Kicks in the 216, which is a reseller too as well. He's in there now.
What?
Yeah, they're in.
I remember them
Beechwood and Minner.
being in Minner. Mm-hmm. I used to fuck with them, and I was there their first day.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate any sneaker resale shop that has a used section instead of just a bunch of wrapped up mids that kind of look like OGs, but they are not. You know what I'm talking about?
Right, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like 300 for these?
Yeah,
I get these bitches from Nike for 120. Why am I gonna give you 300?
Right, I got you.
Yeah, but one place I used to get shoes from, and I used to go there frequently when I was working at the Record Exchange.
Ooh, damn, Chris! I remember when you worked at the Record Exchange, right there on Warsville. Damn,
that was
taking me back.
That was probably one of the best jobs I had. I worked there from like 02 to 08. I worked at shoe stores on the side, but I wasn't letting go of the Record Exchange until.
I remember that.
Yeah, but Dunham's used to have some shit.
Yeah, right there on Northfield.
Yeah, and yeah, when they moved from where O'Reilly's is in Southgate now, to where they was on Northfield, like I remember when they first opened, the 10 was the new Jordan, but they had like all the old Jordans lined up, like they were in a line, like they had the 94 threes, they had original 4 through 10, and I remember like, man, it would be cool to wear some of these old Jordans because niggas ain't doing that. And then they actually did it.
Right.
You know, started doing retros because the last time I went in there, which was like probably like 02, 03.
Okay.
I had got my girl at the time. They had a pair of OG Steel 10s with the toe cap. Okay. And they had a grade school 6. That was her size. So, and I remember telling her, I'm like, man, you can't just be wearing these bitches like regular shoes. Like that's a classic right there. You wear the bitches like some Airmaxes. Like you can't just be wearing them like that. Like
for sure.
But she wasn't really into the hobby or the culture. So
okay,
it was fine. But I just bought all of this old shit that they had just sitting there, and it was all 70% off.
Okay.
The one shoe I regret not getting, especially since I've worked for Converse for the last 5 years, they had a bunch of them Converse Robins in there, man.
Yeah.
If I could just go back.
Yeah. The ones that like the Chucks? Is that the ones you're talking about? Or which one? Yeah, that's the ones that look like, they kind of look like Chuck Taylors a little bit. I think that's the same one.
Talking about, they will put you in the mind of a Jordan. Think of a Jordan 10, but without the pull
Oh,
tab.
no, I know which ones you're talking about. Never mind. I know which ones you're talking about. I know which ones you're talking about.
Like, they were all like $20.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being like, yeah, I'm going to come back and get these Robins. I could find them online, but you don't know if you're going to be able to wear them.
Mm-hmm.
They could be worth like $300-400, and that's on the low end.
That's on the low end.
So I just, like, I can find them. They be wanting too much. And if I get them, I got to try to wear them. I can't just not wear them.
Correct. 100%.
Before I was shopping at Beechwood, I was in East Cleveland at Mr. Allen's. Is Mr. Allen's in East Cleveland?
You know what? East Cleveland. Was it in the Plaza?
I remember it being one in Cedar Center, because my girl at the time used to work there.
And it was also one on Northfield where Next used to be.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I remember that one because I had got a couple of Converses in there that they had them for like $30. I'm like, I'm gonna have all these forces. I'll get those later. Give me these Converse.
What was the slogan, Chris? 29, 2 for 50.
Quick story about that. So that commercial, with us being from Cleveland, that commercial used to come on so much. Mm-hmm. So in fact, I might call her after this. My ex, who I was with at the time.
Okay.
She left because we were both working at Kaufman's and Randall together. And she left to go to Mr. Allen's. And I'm like, so that dude that's in those commercials, that cartoon, is he y'all trading videos? And she used to get mad because I asked that. I'm like, so you go over here and you do that. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga, fuck you. I'm like, that shit used to come on a lot. That's Cleveland history right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so with you going to Bedford, you going to school, you ain't got to wear no uniform, just like we didn't have to wear it at Shaker. Give me one of your go-to outfits after you started giving money, but you were still at high school. We all have one.
Man, I actually have to say, when I was really starting to get money, I actually saved up and bought a Coogee sweater. So Coogee, my Coogee sweater, I think it was like blue and white. I want to say, I want to remember this. That, and I had a pair of, what did I rock with those? I think it was either a pair of Levi's, but then I also was into like Jinko jeans too. Okay. A lot of people don't know about Jinko. Mm-hmm. I had those. And I can't remember. I think it was the Grand Hill 2s that I had with them, that I wore. But that was that was the highlight outfit for me. Most expensive one too, by the way. Other than that, I did a lot of little Nautica polos and things of that nature. Of course, you remember the big. I never did get it, Chris. I still want, and I think you might have one. The Nautica puffy jacket. Do you remember?
Yeah, they come with a little orange thing you can squeeze. You remember that? They brought that back, but they bring back the old clothes. They got the little boat. Yeah. It's got to have the big boat.
Yeah, I never got one, man. I never got one. My girlfriend at the time, right now, back then, she had her father gave her the Kaufman's or Dillard's card, one of those. But she went and she was telling me about it. She's like, yeah, I had the big Nautica jacket and somebody stole it out of my locker. I only had it for a week, and I was just like, damn. I remember those were the good times.
Yeah, like when I worked at Kaufman's from 1999, 8 or 9 until 2001. The majority of the time I was there, I was a Nautica specialist. Okay. So I had the easy track on that shit. But what sucked about Kaufman's was you wouldn't get your discount unless you used your Kaufman's card. And that was the first piece of credit I ever had. Irresponsible ever since. I went crazy with that bitch. I bought every piece of Echo that we had downstairs in the young man's part. They had one pair of Timbs there, and they were some 8-inch Timbs. And I didn't really know how to rock them at the time, but there was some weeks. I was like, I got to have these. So
man, they don't know about Echo, man. Willie Esco. Willie, yes, they don't know
Yeah,
it.
we used to have. Remember when Willie Esco used to have the little collab with Major League Baseball? They had an Indians jersey. It was like light
Man,
blue with
dude,
the yellow.
man. Chris, just give me a time machine so I can go back, man.
Man,
Remember when
me
Platinum
too.
Fubu took off? Remember that?
Hey, that was right on the deck and neck with that iceberg and Coogee. As far as
Oh
like,
my
all
God, the
right,
iceberg.
I'm going to Cosmic Bowling. I want to shut Cosmic Bowling down. Now, I
Down,
could wear
shut
some
it
regular
down.
shit, some Tommy Nautica or some polo. Nah, it's gonna be bitches there. I'm gonna break out the iceberg on these niggas, the
Come on,
Barces.
iceberg, crazy.
You know,
Yeah,
I had the whole fit. I spent my whole paycheck on that shit. I had the pants, the
damn.
sweater, and the Scully. I went to Mr. Alberts and I gave him like my whole paycheck, basically. Good times.
Yeah,
Good times.
good times for sure.
Okay. So when you get a little older, you're out of high school now. It's the 2000s. You say the mid 2000s. We're in the tall T era.
Damn.
You know what? Yeah. I mean, you think that shit is 20 years ago, man?
Damn, man. I'm talking about I was 180 pounds soaking wet, wearing fucking 3XTs, man. With a 24-inch chain and fucking man, come on, man. Come on, man.
What's crazy is like I still have some stuff from that time.
Okay.
I'm like, man, this shit ain't even really baggy no more. It just fits now. I'm like, I don't even know how to feel about that. You know. But during this time, you know, Randall is still around, but it's on its last leg.
Correct.
Where are you grabbing stuff from now? And have you started buying stuff online by this point? We'll say this is like 06.
06. Now 06 that was a different year for me because I was actually in 06. I was staying in Cuyahoga Falls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was down. I was out there because I went to Kent 02, got promoted on my job. I was running Marco's Pizza out there, and I had to stop working at stop Kent, and it was like I had an apartment, all of that. So it was like school or work at the time. I don't want to go back to mom's. I'm chilling. I'm going to school for business, but it's like I'm getting promoted to a general manager, so I'm already doing the business aspect of the job. I mean, of the the degree that I want to acquire. So I'm like, fuck it. I got an apartment. I'm gonna just go ahead and do this. 60 plus hours working. I'm talking about scheduling, food labor, peanut, all that shit. I couldn't do that with school, man. It was too much, man. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna ride it on into the workforce. 06, I was still coming back to Cleveland though. Coming back to Cleveland every weekend to get my little brother, taking him back. I was staying in a condo actually called the Waterford. It's across the street from Timber Top Apartments. I don't know if you familiar.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Porter's Trail. Me and about 3 roommates. We were staying in a 4-bedroom apartment. Now I would still come back to Cleveland, but I was at this time since I was in Akron, I was at Chapel Hill. I know you remember Chapel Hill Mall. I did a little Rolling Acres, but it was mostly because I was close to Chapel Hill. I would go to Chapel Hill, Jimmy Jazz. Of course, they had your Foot Lockers and all of that stuff in there. So really, it was a combination of when I come back up to Cleveland, pick up my brother, I might swing by Randall. Like you said, it was on his last legs. Pick up a couple little things there. Hit Mr. Allen's, pick up some stuff there. And then I go back to Chapel Hill. And that's pretty much where I was at. I really wasn't too deep into it. I was really more so working and all that shit and doing the whole thing. So as far as wearing stuff, it was just your classic things. Polos, jeans, shorts, t-shirts, just regular shit. Shoes has been always my knack. That's been my claim to fame for me. So, and I'm a pretty good judge of character, man. I tell people, man, I say, I can tell what type of person, and I'm pretty sure you can do it too, Chris. You can tell what type of person somebody is by just the shoes they got on.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hit you with that mid 2000s. Remember, that was the lifestyle Jordan era where, niggas was wearing face heavy gear to wear, 147 to Harvard,
Remember, what was right there next to Record Exchange?
Urban Revolution. Zach used to work there.
Yeah. You remember the Air Max Air Force Ones?
Oh man, like, yeah. Gotti was a cool dude. Like,
great dude. I fucked with it.
Like, still got a pit bull. He's got a shotgun in the back. Because people come over to the Record Exchange and be like, Chris, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Just one time one of his dudes got like crazy with me. And I called up Gotti. He made him come to the record exchange and apologize to me and say, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's cool, man. Just watch how you talking. Cause I was like, hey man, he was walking out. He was talking to me like I was half a bitch or something. I was going off. And,
Right.
and he was like, he did what? You remember how Gotti used to look?
Yeah. Serious face.
Like Chris, you've been nothing but good to me. I got it. I got
Exactly.
you.
Exactly.
And then to see Zach working in there, before it was the Zach at Next. Before Revolution, he was with the car and selling the shoes out the car. Yeah, Zach talking about you. Zach trying to get in on the slide, but this is your show, Larry.
I got you.
But yeah, man.
I remember countless times of Zach pulling up to Stafford Park to meet up at Stafford. Let's go up there.
Oh man.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
All right. So back in those days, though, it was like, niggas was wearing fakes, the clear Jordans, that look like the Espo Air Force 2s and the Air Force One Invisible Woman. Niggas was wearing the fakes, but it was a lot of good Jordans around that time. Mm. And I could always tell a nigga was a cut above if he had on some of those Prada World Cups or if he had on Jordans, but they were like lifestyle Jordans. It's like all the niggas on the burgundies, on the olives. They're all regular shoes now, which is
correct.
Crazy.
Correct.
Remember back then, you could only get lifestyle Jordans from Next or City Blue. They were only lifestyle accounts.
That is it. That's it.
When I worked at Champs 2006, 7, and 8 on the side, I used to get in trouble for wearing that shit to work because it's like I'm like, but it's a Nike thing. It's like, yeah, but we don't sell it.
We don't sell it, right?
That here.
You can only wear
my first one of my I remember I got the gold LeBron 4s early from Family Sportswear. That's one of my favorite places to get shoes too, downtown. That was like you were stepping in that store. It was like you was in New York City or something. The way it looked in there. But I remember, I got in trouble. I didn't get like written up, but they were like, you can't keep wearing these shoes that we don't sell. I'm like, but if I wear some old shit from 3 or 4 years ago, some French Blue 12s or some red 12s, we don't sell them either. Like,
exactly.
What you want me to do? He's like, yeah, but these are new. They're just, we don't have them. And I'm like, all right.
Right. Almost like they was hating on you because they
I'm like, what the fuck? That's like me not being able to wear some vintage Converse at Converse. It's like, no, they don't make no Converse Star Text. This shit was from 1983, but I'm still going to wear it. It's wearable.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still got a Star Chevron on it. People don't think these is weapons anyway. It's just old. But, yeah. Foot Locker used to be interesting. But the last time, 2019, 2020, I was wearing whatever the fuck I wanted. Shane.
Yep, Shane.
Like, he didn't give a fuck. He was wearing old shit too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that was fun that last time.
I will say this, you and Shane, and this is my hats off to you guys. I admire you guys' collection. I'm in that inspiring me to this day. Okay, you guys are really you're really there. You're there. I mean, I put you guys' collection up against anybody. I don't give a fuck who it is. It's just it's good. It's good that that you guys got that. I was heavy in the shoes, but I wasn't heavy in the shoes. You get what I'm saying? So it was like, and it was more so because I couldn't afford the shit all like that. You know what I'm saying? I just where I was at in that point of life. I wish I could rewind the time and be able to buy that shit now. Or if they start bringing some of it back, I'll buy it for sure.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I worked at Foot Action and Champs while I was still at the Record Exchange, just for the discount. But with Record Exchange, I was making way too much money for what I was doing.
Okay.
Like, I wish I had some of that money now, because I was running the store. It was sort of like your situation. By the time I was 24, 25, I was already store manager, and they were paying me better than some other manager jobs. Like Record Exchange paid me more than Foot Locker ever had any of the times.
That's
as a manager
crazy.
or not. But we used to get paid every week, so it was easier for me to budget my money and figure out the sneakers.
Okay.
But the thing, I appreciate you saying that about the collecting. I mean, it's different now in the sense of now it's to a point where it's just since I'm in a different phase of life, I'm not married anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to living in a house. You know, I still have all of that stuff, but it's not here in this
I got
apartment. You know,
no, the same here with me. I stay in an apartment too, and my apartment's not big enough to hold the shit I got. I gotta actually store that shit elsewhere at a good buddy of mine's house, and you know he's trustworthy. But he's like, man, you could just bring all your shit over here, man. My girl every other week. Hey, can I get the left hand corner of the living room back? Can we get this? Can we get that? I mean, there's shit piling. I got shit piling up now because I can't just. It's like I don't know. It's like addictive, Chris. It's just I mean, I see it. I'm like, fuck, I need that. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, well, you haven't even begin to break into a quarter of all of the shit. I'm like, well, I'm just I'm gonna get there to that, and I'm trying to wear everything as I can. I know to this year, my goal is to at least break out 50 to 60 new pairs. Just wear them and just get it on over with and just come on into it, and my kids, man, my kids are starting to. My oldest is a little bit past me, but he's like 9.5, 10.
okay.
He's been eyeing a bunch of my shit. He's in the SB phase. He loves SBs. He's like addicted. And my youngest, he's in a size 9, so he's creeping up behind me. He's like, yeah, Dad, I can just. I said, listen, what I did was too. My oldest, when he got to high school, I said, okay, you're in high school now. I'm gonna give you 2 pairs. You pick. There's some shit off limits, but you can pick 2 pairs out of Dad's collection and go ahead and take, because I can guarantee you nobody's gonna have that shit. He's like, all right, okay, cool. So now my youngest, he's waiting now. The girls, they're sneakerheads too, but they can't fit in my shit, of course. But my sons, man, they're definitely, Chris, they're in my shit, man. They're eyeballing it, and I'm just like, you get your own bag.
Yeah.
That's what I tell them. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Like my son and I are in the same size.
Oh, wow.
He's like 11 through 12, like me.
Okay.
And he's not. He wants to look nice, and he's probably got about 20 pairs or so.
Okay.
He's not into it like me or you or even his mother, because I had got her, and she was into the hobby for some time.
I seen the shit you were. Yeah, she had. Yeah.
She had shit that I didn't even have. I'm like, get some satin shattered backboards. So I don't even have a regular shattered backboard. So,
right.
We're gonna get to sneaker store regrets in a minute. But
okay.
Yeah, the shoe that I have that he probably wants the most is my MF Doom Dunks.
Ooh.
And I'm like, son, those shoes are older than you by a year.
Right.
You probably would be able to fit them because I think they're 11 and a half. Okay. But I'm like, because he really loves MF Doom. Okay. I don't know how. I don't really listen to his music like that. I have a few, but he's like into it. He wants it because of that. And I'm like, son, with the way they bringing shit back. I mean, they done brought back the Wu-Tang Dunks and everything. So they may bring this back.
I did get a pair of those when they bring those back too, Chris, by the way. And I do have an 11 and a half on ice too as well. If you need to get your fingers wet.
Yeah, I may need to holler at you a little later on that, because I do need those. I wasn't able to get them because the way they do it with us, with Nike owning Converse and everything.
Gotcha.
We can get the shoes, but if we get them on sneakers, it's like I'm a regular person. And I mean, you've worked at shoe stores for a long time. That discount is like a part of your lifestyle.
Man, it is, man.
It's kind of like most shoes, most Jordans, I could just be like, they'll hit the swoosh. Because once they make it to regular Nike, that's when we can, get them with the love. Okay. Can't get them with the love sneakers at. Okay. But it's a few shoes that, like, of course, those didn't make it. And then we have this other site for employees. It's called The Van, where, it's stuff for there on the low. It's collabs and stuff on there. But it's if they have your size, and you have to wait twice as long as you would wait from regular Nike.com to get them. So it varies, but they'll have crazy shit. Like the last time they had a Vault drop, they had some Travis Scott on there. I'm like, where the fuck did y'all find these? These shoes are from 2018. Where were these at? They were brand new. They were at 13. I was gonna try to get them anyway, but yeah, that somebody else ended up getting them. They'll have like random old stuff where I'm like, where was this? But I really think that sometimes we have these restocks. In my personal opinion, my theory, I think that shit was over in Europe, because the Jordans and shit don't sell like the runners do over there.
Correct.
So I think that sometimes they'll bring them over, but I don't know for sure. I'm just speculating. But with all the shoe stores that you've worked at, what's your biggest regret of a shoe you passed on and you're like, I should have got the bitches? I really for each store.
Well, see, because I was only at Champs.
Okay.
Where I was at. I did that. My tenure from Champs was 07 to 17. Yeah. So those were the glory years once again. Macedonia Commons, Jordan packs, they were coming in. Jordan packs 200 coming in, and then I just put the shit on my whole shelf, and I get the shit on 50% off, and I got 2 pair of prime fucking Jordans for 100. There was one, the 16, the 17 and the 6s, Carmine 6s and the all black 17s. Still got the 17s in the closet now. Size 9. I bought that pack for $30 after my discount. I held it on the back shelf so fucking long. You know how that shit gets with them SKUs. What the hell is this? Let's mark it down. Yeah, $30. But one of my biggest regrets, I want to say the biggest regret was the top 3. Top 3 won. I love that shoe, Chris. I want the shoe now. I just don't want to fucking pay the price for it, man. I don't. I'm trying to see if some of the local shops, maybe resale shops, might grab them, or somebody might come in and be like, hey, Then I'm a fan of trade. I like my trade. I like to trade a pair of some shit that's on the lower end. Here you go. Versus me come out my pocket and do it. I'm a cheap bastard, Chris. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It comes working at, and then let's keep it a buck, because I've had to explain it to people before where I'm like, all right, we're all blessed to be in this hobby. We all have way too much shit we don't
even.
Right. If we're just looking at it from a practical standpoint, we're both over 40, fine. But because I have a lot, you have a lot, Zach has a lot, whoever, the shoes don't have the same value to us that they would have to a regular person because we have so many. You hear me?
Yep. I heard.
Okay.
Yeah, my damn low battery thing. I'm going to have to find my charger here in a minute, but it's cool.
I had like 2 or 3 people call me that would have never called me if I wasn't on this live. I'm like, what the fuck? But whatever. But yeah, it doesn't have the same value to us that it would have to a normal person. And some people understand it and some people don't. But I'm like, yeah, some people be like, man, I know you think I have more money than I may have because I have all that. And I'm like, nah, I was just in the right place at the right time.
Right time. That's it. That's it.
Like, for me, the first traditional shoe store I worked in was Foot Action, East Cleveland, and then I was at Lee and Harvard before they closed it. So there at Lee and Harvard, because SB was still kind of new. They weren't SBs, but they had a bunch of Pro B dunks in there.
Okay.
And they had a bunch of women's dunks. We used to get like women's bigger sizes where we would get like a women's 12 or a women's 13.
Right.
I have some of that stuff, but there's so many dunks that would still be wearable now that I could have had there. Like they had these splatter dunks with 3M on them. Like I could still
splatter. I remember the splatter dunks.
Yeah, I can still see them. Like, we got these here? Because at Foot Action, I would only work there during the weekend because I would be at the record exchange during the week.
Okay.
And at that point, like by 03, I was like making the schedule. So I would just never work on weekends, and I would just be at Foot Action. But the next was Champs. That was like 06, 07, 08. I didn't buy the black Cat threes or Pure Money threes back then because I didn't like them.
Okay.
And I was like, I might get them this time, but I still don't like them enough to buy.
I picked up the Black Cat threes, and it's more so because I didn't at that time I didn't have an all black Jordan, believe it or not. So I'm like, all black out every day it out. You know what I'm saying? Throw it on, kick it. It's in my rotation at the door. Things of that nature. So I didn't get the Pure Monies though. I didn't get those. Zach was asking me. He's like, man, you're not getting the Pure Monies?
Sitting
like,
everywhere.
Like Zach, I'll be able to get them for $80 in a matter of weeks.
Yeah, like every other. The three is the most hit or miss Jordan that there is. They either gone or it's like, nigga, nah. Like,
nah, yeah.
And see, you and I, we could do this where you could just look at a Jordan and be like, yeah, nah.
It's not going. It's gonna sit.
A Lucky Shorts 3,
no.
Nah. Like some niggas down here had them because of the North Carolina shit, but they still sit.
Yeah. They sitting in JD and Beechwood now. They got them down. I think they got them down about, I want to say 150 or 130.
That's still too much. The rare air threes is like that too, just cheap. But in 8-10 years, niggas is gonna want the bitches. You know how it is.
Yep.
But
damn, I wish I would have got those.
Because like when I was at Hibbett, we had Zach and I was talking about this the other day. We had another all white 3 from 2018 that came out. Remember, it had an ice bottom, and the hang tag was clear.
Okay.
It was better than the Pure Money 3. I regret not buying those, but I haven't even got to Hibbett yet. At Champs, it's the Harbor Blue 3s.
Okay.
I should have bought them bitches. They would have been $79.99 with the love.
Damn.
I should have bought them. Harbor Blue 3s, because we used to get at that Champs in Tower City. We used to get women's 12s and women's 13s. The Sand 4s is another one. Like we had like full size run of them bitches. Nobody wanted them.
I remember the playoff 12s coming out of. That's why I went down to Tower City Foot Locker. I was waiting in that line, and I remember the price like it was yesterday, $120.67. That.
Yep.
And back then when I had actually picked up. I didn't know shit about resale. I'm just like, shit, I'm going to get another one and sell that one to get mine for free. Fuck it. And that's what happened. It was that more so to get my shoe for free or some money off, All
right. Now, I don't want to incriminate your relative and my friend here, so I'm just going to talk about me. Now, I've sold shoes on the internet before.
Okay.
Like, if I'm at, Unique, or if I'm at some thrift store, I'm like, man, these bitches is an 8, but they in great shape. If I could flip these and try to get this or this. I've done that before. It's been far in between, but I've done it. But when I was at the Tier 0 Nike account that I used to work at, I used to hit niggas in the head for holding shoes. That's how my shoe would end up being free.
Gotcha.
Because it used to be encouraged by people because, like, all right, when I was at Northfield, I couldn't really do nothing because of, but when I got given Tower City, it was like, all right, I can kind of control it a little more. But I still really didn't do it like I could have because I used to look out for people because I'm like, just shop with the store because the way I always used to look at it was, I mean, you worked at Foot Locker for 10 years, so you'll feel me. If I only see you for the hot releases, you're not really a customer. You're just a nigga that wants a shoe that I'm going to sell whether you buy it or not.
And that's
like you doing me a favor buying some,
mallet goes across your head when that hitting you in the head. If you want it, you can pay it.
Hell yeah, because this one dude on Coventry, for example, like, all right, we got those Atmos Elephant Air Max 1s when they brought them back. We didn't get.
I got mine from next Bedford.
Nice.
Yeah, I got mine from there.
Before that, I hadn't seen him since the Space Jam, which was like a few months before, and then before that, it was 2016, probably like the Bread ones.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I would only see him for releases like that, and he wanted the gold 97s. And this is like right before I'm about to quit working there.
Okay.
So I just was like, those last 2 or 3 weeks, I didn't give a fuck. I was saying anything I wanted to customize. And he wore a 12, and in Air Maxes, I usually get a 12.
Okay.
So he was accusing me of hiding the shoes from me, and I'm like, I had on my pair from 2000. I'm like, I'm wearing them. You think this is the new pair? And I was petty enough where I took it off. I'm like, look, you see this 00, 10, 12? These bitches were made in 2000. These aren't the ones that you're trying to get. I don't have them. You know what I'm saying? And you got here too late. They gone already.
Mm-hmm.
But he thought, like, well, it's Coventry. Ain't nobody going to come down here. I'm like, nigga, we had a line for these bitches.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So get the fuck out of here. But if you're only here for the hot releases for a shoe that I'm going to sell, whether or not you come and get it, you're not really helping me out.
Right. Correct.
And if I only see you for those, you have to pay.
You have
like
there
were
piper.
Niggas that would only
you have to pay.
You have to pay. and niggas would hit me with the. Have you ever seen The Sopranos?
Yeah.
So you remember the part where the dude that was the bad Terminator in Terminator 2, he was Tony's friend.
Yeah.
And he didn't come up with the money. And he started talking about how their daughters was in school, and Tony still had to fuck him up and beat his ass because it's like, you get another point if you don't have my money. It would sort of be like that, where it'd be niggas I know, but you don't really fuck with the store like that. I'm like, hey man, we cool, but you still gonna give me this $50 if you gonna get these shoes. Otherwise, you ain't gonna get them.
Correct.
So I'm just saying all that to say, there are some resellers in Cleveland that I don't like, but it was never like that with you.
Correct.
I respect you and how you did. You know what I'm saying? Because
appreciate it.
There's certain people that will come into. I know I'm all over the place with these shoe stores, but
you're good.
With Richmond, that was like part outlet, part regular Foot Locker.
Correct.
And we were shut down because Richmond Mall was literally falling apart. So we opened back up after the shutdown in July. Everybody else opened up in May.
Mm-hmm.
The only stores that was open was Finish Line, Foot Locker, and Lens Crafters. The whole rest of the mall was empty. When nobody in there.
And what Lens Crafters right across from y'all?
Yep.
Or right over there? Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you remember.
Mm-hmm.
So when we opened back up, everything was on sale because everything was locked down. So everything was on sale. And it was a 50. So dudes was coming in there. That. Yeah, I think you came in there. I think
Chris, I came in there
while I was there.
I came in there and bought a boatload of shit.
Yeah.
Because you guys had like shit for $20, $15. Then I was getting a discount on top because I was working at Champs. Because it was crazy.
I feel like Shane was helping you. Shane was helping you, and I was helping my dude Dame, who also does that. And,
yeah, Dame. I love Dame. That's my dude. I fuck with him.
So, it's stuff from Richmond that I still haven't worn. You know what I'm saying? Because it was so cheap.
Yeah. You just got it. You had to get it.
Yeah, but I used to always certain people like in the city I respect, and I know I haven't been there since 2020, but I'll still say if you reselling in Cleveland and I don't know who you are, you ain't reselling in Cleveland.
You ain't reselling in Cleveland.
But
and there's a difference too, Chris, between a reseller and reselling.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand that.
Yes.
But
yes.
A lot of people will never understand that. It's not that you go buy a bunch of fucking shoes and just try to, do this and do that. That's not, no, man. And I don't look for a lot of credit, but the pre-order game, I started that shit. I'm not even going to say that I did that. Everybody that I've known, they're like, dude, you started doing pre-orders, and now look, everybody's doing pre-orders. I say, hey, it is what it is. Can it's not a competition to me or who could do this and who can do that. It's, bro, people genuinely shop with me because they love to shop with me. It's not about, they don't even want to fucking go to the mall, Chris. If they don't want to do it, man. They want Larry to pull up in the fucking hop-out van and give me the fucking shoe. That's what they want.
Because let's just keep it a buck here. We're older.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure some of your clientele is older. It's nothing like convenience.
Yeah.
There's like, Larry, you think you could bring those Wu-Tangs over? I got you with the money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's better than, oh God, I got to go to the mall. I got to take her. I got to take her and him with me, find a parking spot, walk through there. The dudes with the fucking shoe cleaner are going to bother the shit out of me. and then, you know what I'm saying, I might see a nigga I know, and then that's another 15 or 20 minutes. Yeah, man, just pull up.
Yeah.
Nigga ask me
Yeah.
about some shit at Next, there's some shit at Hibbett or whatever. Nigga, I saw your post, nigga. It's nice to meet you, niggas. And that's cool.
That's
But sometimes
cool.
I'm just not there. My social battery, it's like I already got enough dealing with her and him, you know, bringing them with me because I'm coming to the ball. Now I got to deal with this too. So,
Correct.
you know,
Correct.
but it's all good. It's all good. You got a family. You know how that is. It's like,
Exactly.
and then if it's like you try to leave the house alone, then it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be back. Oh well, you know, then that's a whole other thing.
That's a
like,
whole other thing.
You know, I might be trying to get something for you, but I don't want you to know about it. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll be back. You know,
I'll be back.
so I instantly look suspicious. Nah, it's all good. But
I gotta let me run and grab this charger, Chris, real quick, man, so I don't fucking go dead.
For sure.
Yeah, this is I hate this part of the game, but it is what it is. Let's see.
What's up, Rochelle?
I'm gonna have to switch my view. Let's see.
Side 9. Can't take my cool off. Yeah. At Villa, my biggest regrets. Okay, so we had all of these forces at Villa. All these forces, like, because this is like 2010, 2011. We had like Futura forces, the first Black History Month Air Force Ones for retail, at retail that weren't like friends and family. Like, it was all this random shit in the back. It was a million Orlando Penny 1 retros, emphasize. So some of this stuff I picked up later, but I'm like, damn, why didn't I pick it up there?
Right.
But yeah, each thing, each next has a different tragic tale where I'm like, I should have bought them, or I couldn't have bought them because, you know, it's like, yeah, I mean, Zach wears a 14, he can get his, but you know, you wear an 11, you can't get
yours.
And then I had to ring Zach up.
Damn.
You know? Like fucking every LeBron 10 EXT I had ended up getting later. I couldn't get none of them bitches from Next. None of them. We couldn't get the corks. Zach ended up with the corks somehow. See, now you're down there laughing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He already told me what he was gonna be in here laughing.
Yeah, fucking the denim. I got 2 pairs of denim LeBron 10s now, a distressed pair and a regular pair. But at first I was told I could get those, and they were like, "Yeah, nah, we couldn't get them for you." And Zach was able to get his. I'm ringing this nigga out. Nigga only paying 50% of the price of shit. I'm like, so I already couldn't get the shoe for full price. This nigga's getting it for half off, and I gotta ring him out with it. He's like, all right, Chris, I'll see you later. You know how Zach sound. You know what I'm saying? And I be with the Arthur Fist, like, man, this nigga, you know, who will get me better than anything is Zach is a LeBron guy. Zach is not a Kobe guy. Whenever Zach could get a Kobe and I can't get a Kobe, I took that shit personal. I'm like, man, you don't even fucking Kobe. Yeah, exactly. We both was able to get the Kobe's, but I had to fight Next all day for them bitches.
Damn.
You know. But yeah, it's a lot of regrets. Hibbett is probably the only store I ran where I pretty much bought everything that I wanted there. They had like random shit where I'm like, yeah, I should have got those. We had these New Balances it was some 574s, but they were like gray, pink, and teal, and they were for men. They were raw as fuck. But, you know, I didn't buy them like a fool. We sold them all out in one weekend. It was like around
574
Easter. Niggas was going crazy.
That 574 era, I had just about every damn solid color. The orange, the green, the blue, the red. They had them all at channel.
Yeah, what to say?
Bro, I was getting them for like $20.
Yeah, because that was like a 2 for $60 shoe for the longest, and then it was a 2 for $80 shoe. I mean, I know you know.
Damn, the 2 for $89, 2 for $60, man. They would keep all of your prime real estate would be right in the shoe case as soon as you walked in the door. Remember that? As soon as you walked in, man.
Yeah, man. Like, that's really why I have so many weapons, because I was getting them.
You was getting them from there. Can't beat it.
Can't beat it. Man. But it's the shoe that's had me in the chokehold the last 2 years.
Okay.
But with you being in business, you know, with sneakers, obviously the game has shifted a little bit where, you know, Jordans are probably more hit or miss than they've been probably since like 09 or 10.
Yep.
You know, there was a bit of a time, I say 18, 19, where they were kind of hit or miss too, like when I was at Hibbett. But what's kind of like your, if you can tell me, I mean, if it's
Okay.
business where you can't tell me, fine, but what's kind of like your best selling thing right now?
So Jordans are still, to be completely honest, Jordans are still my best selling thing. A lot of Jordans, a lot of the stuff from the '90s, Barclays when those hit, Dion when those hit, and since I have a lot of the older clientele, a lot of the newer guys are starting to get hip, but a lot of the older, as soon as they hear word of any type of thing coming out, my phone's ringing. My shit's ringing before they can even announce the fucking release date on it. So Jordans is still my biggest, but after that, I would say anything from the '90s, just about. I mean, I got a lot of people ask me for the '95s. Those, Chris, I'm a little upset about with Nike about those '95s, man.
Me too.
The neons and the orange, the mandarin orange. I'm really kind of upset about it, man. I like the pink foams too. The pink foam, the women's ones. I want it all. I got not damn one of those, and I tried on sneakers with a couple different foams too, Chris, and I didn't get that shit. I tried, man, and it's not gonna. I just can't pay $300, bro.
Not for no 95. Fuck
I'm not
that.
doing it, man. I'm not doing
I'll
it, man.
cuss both of us. Fuck that. I ain't paying $300, $400 for no 95.
Yeah,
For us, in the era we from, the bitches will come out every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's a regular shoe.
Regular shoe.
I wanted them to bring back the safety orange 95s that came out in 98.
Okay.
Because I remember that mandarin orange from when I was at Villa 2011, because I have the blue spark version of that.
Okay.
My ex-wife actually had that mandarin orange one, but I wish that they would have did it different, because they basically bred one it. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, we're going to make 10,000 pairs, we're going to make them limited.
Yeah,
and they're going to supposedly bring them back for Air Max Day next year, but it's not the 30th anniversary, man. When the 90, you was there when they did the Air Max 1 2017, 87, you could get them. The red and the blue were kind of hard to get, but they weren't like this. The 90s.
You got those, didn't you? You got those, didn't you?
I had the red ones.
The red ones. Yeah, okay.
I have a Nike ID pair I made years before that looks kind of like the blue one.
Okay.
So I didn't get the blue one, but I should have. The only one I tried to get in that run was those master with the looking ones, and I ended up taking
yeah.
But during the pandemic, the Air Max 90 was everywhere. They had all of those infrared looking 90s in different colors. You remember that? They were everywhere. So for this to be like this, I know Nike is in a different place, but it just, that's a shoe that everybody should get. I mean, I feel like, and again, you might be like, I don't know. It's certain shoes that you should just always be able to get. Like you can get a white Air. Well, shoot, that's new. Just being able to get an Air Force One, white Air Force One at any time. Remember, that used to be an event.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But you should be able to get a neon 95, like you can get a white and black shell toe or white and green Stan Smith. You should be able to just get it.
We could just get it back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, the first retro of that neon 95 came out at the end of 97. They came out in 99. They came out overseas in 02. Here, 03 and 04, 05, 08, 10. The 10 pair is the pair I wear now.
Okay.
12. And then after 2015, they started making it like limited, because they were hard to get in 2020 as well. But you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that to Barclays, even though if you ain't got no CB94 finish, you don't want
that. Hey, speaking of those, Zach, when those came back out, Zach's like, man, I need to get him. I said, Zach, you got all of them, bro. It's not even no point. I still got my pair sitting in the box. Wore it 3, 4, 5 times. That's the damnedest shoe. It's the hardest damn shoe that I got to put on too.
Oh,
by the way,
to me, that CB94 and the Penny 4 are the hardest shoes to take on and put on.
Yeah.
That Penny 4
Yeah.
is bad. To me, that's probably worse. But that CB94 is right up there. Like, my newest pair is the pair from 2015.
Okay.
Other than the blue or the purple air bubble, they look exactly the same.
Okay.
And I wear the pair from 09 with the white air bubble and the bigger air bubble.
Gotcha.
I don't know how much longer I have with it.
Okay.
You know, I just can't see. Like, I'm like, God, they're bringing these out again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, where's
I couldn't
the
believe it
Godzilla?
when they just brought them up. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Where's that?
Or,
you know, they canceled that, Chris. It was supposed to be holiday season, and they canceled. I'm like, damn.
Just to bring back the CB94 again? It was just out in what, 23? 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Just like,
No. Was it 23? I thought it was 20. What do I got? I think my parents from. I thought it was 20.
they had a pair that came out in 20 as well.
Yeah, I got the 20 pair.
But they came out in 23, and they're coming out again this year. And
yeah.
even more than the Godzilla, because, all right, we got the Godzilla in 16. We got the 96 Barkley in 16. Where is the Fab 5 Barkley? We have not seen that bitch since 2013.
Yeah.
I was kind of new at Next when they retroed those.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I had those.
They had that with the fucking they added the 3M swoosh to make it a little different.
Correct.
Things were made like shit though. My pair is starting to peel a little bit.
Okay.
Or maybe not even want to wear them. But it's so many Barclays. I mean, you could bring back the white, blue, and red Air Force too.
Mm-hmm.
You
could.
They brought back the Alpha Force. Bring back the Alpha Force 2 again.
It's almost like they don't. They're teasing us, Chris. They don't want to.
I can't be too
critical. You got to
critical.
talk to them, Chris. You got to just have a conversation.
I can't be too critical because, obvious reasons. But I just feel like, the term when people be like, this isn't your mother's so-and-so. Somebody tell our kids, this isn't your dad's Nike or your dad's Adidas, because they used to do stuff that was like, you taking chances. You're going to make a running shoe that's gray and lime green and come out with it in the middle of the spring.
Yep.
They would never, I shouldn't say never, but that would be unlikely that would happen now with a new shoe.
Right.
So I just kind of feel like with the sportswear, they kind of do what's safe, where it's like, instead of bringing back the Godzilla or the 96 Barkley, we'll just bring back the CB94, and on the back end, we may bring out the Air Force 180 in the Olympic colorway or the 76ers colorway. But
I like that Olympic colorway. That Olympic colorway I love that. I like that one.
Yeah. See, they come in, enter holidays, Barclays. I want the Fab 5 Barkley. They haven't retroed, and yes, it's been a while. Really 12 years, because I was 2013 and the junior sales. Now, the other thing I'm gonna hit you with, and I think you'll agree with me, Larry. Some of these shoes, kind of like the Air Mirage, or we could say the Air Mission, they waited too long for some of those shoes to be successful like they would have been.
Correct.
Like they didn't retro the Mission, or you throw the Air Up in there, even though the Air Up didn't really look like a real shoe, with that leather. They waited too long for some of that stuff, like the Missions. All of that turf shit should have came out in that Griffey Renaissance of like 2009.
Yes, it did.
2013. You remember that?
It should have came out then.
Like,
it definitely should have came out then.
When the first store I worked at Villa, I had opened the Westtown location on the Rain, and the first major release that we had was those red Griffies, and the playoff 13s came out on the same day, 2011, and the whole parking lot was just full of people that wanted that Griffey. People didn't give a damn about those 13s. So that's when they should have brought back all of that stuff that they didn't. That I'm not sure how it would do now, because nostalgia is real, but these little niggas aren't gonna really know. But
I'm waiting on.
Okay.
I'm still waiting though. I'm still waiting on them Air Max and them Veers. I'm still waiting. I
feel like we'll see the Mission before. Well, to me, they're kind of the same. You got to know about them and to respect them. It's like me wanting the Air Max Pro Streak. Those only came out at Champs. They didn't even come out anywhere else but Champs.
champs. That's it.
I have the white ones. I need those black ones. You know. But what is your holy grail? What's that shoe that you want that you haven't been able to touch that that you need for your collection?
I want to say the bread one, Chicago. I mean, not Chicago. The Jordan one bread. I don't have any of those. Zero. I couldn't get the 85 when it came back out. I wanted the original when it was out then. I couldn't get none of that shit, man. And I want that's really the one I want now. I have a lot of favorites, and most people nowadays will be like, "Well, you may only like that because it costs this." The Cause 4 is one of my favorite Jordans, and not just because I love 4s, but the quality on that shoe, Chris, man, that shit's crazy, bro. It's just crazy. The handprint, the stitching, the glow, everything about it was really, really, really in depth and detail, and I love that shoe. And like I say, once again, and I'll go into this real quick. It does have a sentimental value. When I told you I was the third to last person to get there and put the ticket in, second number to be called, was the first shoe, was the first date that me and my current girlfriend now went on. First date. It was a sneaker date. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're down at the Museum of Contemporary Art, and she's like, "Come on, we're running late and this and that." And I'm like, "Man, if I get this fucking shoe, I'm gonna fucking flip shit." Man, they called my number, man. I couldn't believe it. She's the one telling me, "Yeah, they called your number." I'm like, "Man, no." Looked at it, called it again, because they'll call it. I think it was 3 times before they moved on to the next person. They called that shit, man. I looked at that shit. I was down there about five of my friends plus her, and I was the only one that hit. Man, Chris, when I tell you, man, it was like, I don't know, man. It was just like a real good feeling, man. Real good feeling. I was there with her. It was the first thing. She was just so happy for me that I got the damn shoe. I'm like, and it was the first shoe, one of the first that I've ever paid, the most expensive on the retail side. These were after tax, they were $350 retail.
Yeah.
And I think after taxes, I still got the receipt. I still got the invite. I got all that shit in the box. I think it was like $380 after taxes or some shit like that. $378, some shit like that after taxes.
$378.
Yeah. So that's one of my favorites. But the bread one is definitely the one that I definitely want. I would really love to have an older pair, but I know the chances of me getting it for the price that I would like to pay is probably slim to none. So
now, I will say I don't know your criteria for them. I see that pair of bread ones that came with those Celtics ones and that double pack.
the double pack.
I be
Okay.
seeing those for the low, but it's got a jump man on the back and on the tongue. I don't know if you care about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need a pair from 2013,
yeah,
2016.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean they all have come down considerably. All ones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you have something like a Travis Scott or a Dior or something like that. All the regular ones.
Now that you mentioned that, Chris, since we talk and we just talking, I know you're asking a lot of the questions. How do you feel about the Dior and the Travis Scott and as far as what they've done with ones to try to keep them alive, keep them hyped? How do you feel about it, just all in general?
I mean, from a business standpoint, I understand it because we as older shoe heads, we make and I like people to ask me questions, so thank you.
Okay.
I understand it from a business perspective because they've got to reach a younger crowd, and to me, and again, it's just my opinion. I feel like with Nike losing Curry and Kanye basically at the same time, they've had to suffice with other things that are similar. That's why Jerry Lorenzo was with them.
Correct.
And, Travis Scott. Just like on the basketball side, it's like they lost Curry. They started giving Kyrie shoes. You know what I mean? So you got to, but I think it's good. I'm kind of past my super duper fashion
Okay.
days. That was like early 2000s for me,
Mm-hmm.
buying that expensive stuff. So even having the money, I'm not sure that I would ever buy a Dior
Okay.
one. Um, I did get exclusive access to the Fragment Travis Scott
Okay.
lows, so I
Okay.
do have those and the hoodie.
Okay. You
Um,
own any off-white ones or any of that? No. Okay.
all the off-white shoes I have are like other Nikes, but I don't have any of the Jordans. Um, I really, I really would like the both of the fives and
Okay.
of course the ones, those white twos, but not the black twos. But I'm gonna have it all one day, Larry.
Yeah. No. I will say though too. When those off-whites first hit the scene, the Chicago off-white Chicago with Virgil, I looked at that shoe, Chris. I said, man, that shit's not gonna fucking sell. I'm not gonna lie to you. I said, that's nah. And sure the fucking enough. And I think that's when a lot of the hype took off.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I was looking past it, Chris. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was definitely looking past it. I didn't think it was gonna do as well. Deconstructed. I didn't think it was. I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's interesting because that was one of the times where that was after I was at Next, but before I was working at Hibbett. That's when I was working for the sewer district. So I was still following the kicks, but I wasn't really as into it. Like all the shoes I bought during that time were basically just LeBron 15s,
Okay.
and I bought the Black Cement 3s from 2018. But the LeBron 15 had me in a chokehold at that time. But
Okay.
I wasn't even sure if anybody in the city. I mean, I'm sure Next probably got them in some form or fashion. They were probably at
Yeah,
exhibition, but
that's where they were at exhibition.
okay, yeah. I was like, anybody in the city even get
Mm-hmm.
these? But they're tier zeros, so I know that they did. But I didn't even try to get them. Like I wish that I that off white one, I'd take it in any colorway. The white Europe one,
Mm-hmm.
the UNC one. A lot of regular folks had that one. That one
Mm-hmm.
was on sneakers. But that Chicago one, like
Yeah,
I've always preferred the Chicago one over the bread one,
over the bread one.
all the time.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
always been my favorite because wearing Jordans because I love Michael Jordan. That was the
Mm-hmm.
one he wore the most was the Chicago. So
Correct.
I need that off white Chicago one, but I have to know it's real.
Okay.
Because
Correct.
there's so many fakes that look like
Man.
they could be.
Yeah.
So
We'll have another shot though. If you're interested in that, and they call it the Alaska. It's gonna
the
be
white
around
one.
holiday. Yeah, the white one around holiday time. So I don't know if you want to throw your hat in the bag for that, but
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because the only off whites I own, I have a couple of the Vapor Streets with the spikes on the
okay.
bottom. The mid forces, I got multiple colorways of that with the spikes on the bottom. So I got like the regular off whites, and I'm constantly searching for off white chucks. And I find pairs all the
I
time.
got a
But
pair. I got a pair. I got a pair. I definitely got a pair of off-white chucks. I like those.
you got the clear one or the
The
white one?
white one.
Oh,
I didn't get the clear. The
yeah,
Vulcan. That was
yeah,
the Vulcan.
yeah, that original 10 joint. But what I was gonna say is I find them all the time, but I'm not gonna buy them without the zip tie.
Okay.
They have to have the
All
zip
right. The
tie.
zip tie.
You know,
Everything with it.
yeah, I that's one of the ones where I want to have the laces and the box and
Mm-hmm. All of that.
But yeah, that's why I don't have them yet. Um, but yeah. Well, I guess now I'm gonna ask you some either or
Okay.
questions. Some of them are gonna be sneaker based. Some of them are gonna be Cleveland based since we are from Cleveland.
Okay.
So the first either or is you bringing back Randall or you bringing back Geauga Lake.
Damn, man, you sure do know how to corner somebody. But I'm gonna say Randall
Okay.
because and it's crazy because I worked at Geauga Lake. I was in the food warehouse. I worked there. I used to drive the little Cushmans around delivering the shit before people the food stands for it open. But Geauga Lake you can see any and everybody at Jagger Lake. Okay, I'm pretty sure remember the circulator
Oh
going
yeah.
up to and going to catch the bus at Randall. I'd rather have Randall back because then I can still have all my shopping, and I can still see everybody that I've seen at Jagger Lake too as well.
Yeah, the Geauga Lake and SeaWorld bus. Yeah. You catch the 801 or the 802. Yeah. When I didn't have a car, because this is like when the last remember circulator was like 05, 06.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of period of time there I didn't have a car. So I'm like, man, instead of catching a rapid and a 41, I could just get on the circulator and
That's it.
save a couple bucks.
50 cents,
you know.
75 cents.
Yeah.
Jump
Get me
on.
right out there. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But all right. So the next one, Black Cement 3 or Black Cement 4?
Black Cement 3.
Okay. I'm gonna take Black Cement 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 3. Yeah.
Okay. Um, Magic or Isaiah?
Magic.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna say that just because you're a Lakers. You're raised a Lakers fan. Magic.
Nah.
I like Magic.
Okay.
I like
Okay.
Magic.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, where would you go first between TNT and New Flavor?
TNT. I meant to tell you about. I meant to say something about TNT earlier too, because that was another place that I would go, minus Mr. Allen's. But TNT, what was the? I can't remember dude's name that was in there too, man. He was always in there, fresh to death, suit, all of that, man. But you know who I'm talking about too.
I do.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I can't remember TNT. Yeah, I would go with TNT.
Okay. The only reason I would go with New Flavor is because they used to sell the Jordans early.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, I get that to you.
All right. So the Rapid or the Bus?
The Rapid.
Okay.
I like the Rapid. Now, if we're going
to Tower City.
Rapid.
Okay. Okay. Rapid. Look, I take the Rapid to Tower City over the 14 or the 15 or the 19. But if I'm going to Randall and I can't drive my car, I would rather take the bus to Randall. You might see some girls on there, And it's like, I definitely had a period of time where I was hustling backwards because I'm like, I remember I was sitting on the bus one day out of my Averex. I had on some iceberg. I had my chain.
You
I didn't
taking
have
me
a car
all the way
at the
back
time.
now, Chris. AVs and all. But they just had a stint with the Averex came back.
I heard Zach told me about it. I was like, how much y'all selling these bitches for?
They had a lot of them at Next, a few of them, but Kicks Lounge had the whole fucking damn near the whole line in Akron. Kicks Lounge in Akron.
Now I fuck with Kicks Lounge. I mean, they actually show me love on the social media side quite a bit, even though I'm not in the area. I wish it was a Kicks Lounge in Cleveland. It's not that far driving to Akron. I mean, you've lived in Akron, but it's still like I'm like, because I've asked a couple of them, I'm like, man, why don't y'all come to Cleveland? They're like, well, there's people who have stakes in Cleveland where you can't have a store too close to,
You know the people.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing until they opened up City Blue on 116th.
Okay.
And I went in there. I only went in there once, and they didn't have any Nikes. And I'm like, how come y'all don't have no Nikes in here? Where all y'all got is Adidas and Pumas and Timbs, and they were like, well, because that store at Shaker Square is so close, and that owner has a proximity deal with Nike, we're too close. We can't sell them. And I'm like, damn, I didn't even know that was a thing.
And I didn't know it was a thing. When I found out it was a thing, is when the Yeezy 350 Zebras came out, and I said, nobody else, nobody within like a fucking 200-mile radius could have these shoes. But that's it. I'm like, damn. They're like, yeah, it's that serious. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it sucks because if you're into sneakers and you don't really fuck with the internet, you have to shop with them.
You do.
Just like if you want SBs, there's only one place in Cleveland you can get SBs on the
Mm-hmm.
west side.
Correct.
You know, where it used to be multiple. It's like you had Martinis, you had Village Boards, you had all these other places
Martinis.
you could get
Chris, what
SBs.
happened to them, man? I
Man,
mean,
they went under. See what's cool, what's crazy is if they would have hung on a little bit more, the way the Dunks blew up during the pandemic, they would have been straight.
mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah, it is. Yeah, I still have like Martini's clothing and stuff. Skate and snow. I have a couple of shirts with that on it, but
They had a
yeah, they
location in
just
Macedonia, I want to say too.
yeah.
Did they have
Yeah,
Peninsula too?
before Cleveland Heights.
Before, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if they would have hung on like another year and a half, 2 years, they would have been straight because how crazy the Dunks had got.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got to tell you, but now does anybody ask you for Dunks now?
Only, of course, only the SBs.
Okay.
A lot of the SBs. But when that dunk wave came through, I think it was during the pandemic where it was just fucking Panda Dunks was $350. I mean,
Yeah.
Chris, you probably were sitting back like, you got to be fucking kidding.
I don't. I know that they probably had a Panda in the '80s, but like, remember when they first started retro and Dunks at the end of high school? It wasn't no Panda. It was just the college colors.
Shit was sitting with dust on it.
Listen, I got. You remember how Foot Locker used to at Randall? If you got the last pair, that was $19.99.
Mm-hmm.
I got 6 different pairs of Dunks for $19.99 from Foot Locker, including my Michigan Highs from $19.99 because they were $19.99 at Foot Locker. You remember City Blue used to have that table where if the shoe was on the table, no matter what the shoe was, it was $29.99. Yep. I used to be living in that bitch. I still have some of that shit.
Damn, Chris, that's crazy.
Yeah. I miss, with us being the same age, same area. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, this has been beautiful. Just a few more. So our young era, we're 20 years old. Next or City Blue?
City Blue?
Yes. Now I'm gonna tell you what me and my friends used to do. We used to go look at the shit at Next, and then we would go buy it at City Blue. Like you remember Next collections? It's like, man, niggas, I ain't going in there. Get the fucking Tom and Jerry jeans for $350. Like, that's my whole fucking check.
That's my whole shit. Damn, the Tom and Jerry. Damn.
You remember that? It was downstairs, right across from Magic's theaters and shit. We had the Magic Johnson theaters.
That shit only lasted till somebody got shot in that motherfucker, and that was a wrap.
Yeah. That's the only reason I got to meet him was because of the theaters. I got to meet him twice because of the theaters. But yeah, I would say City Blue too, just because there was a while where I became like a regular customer at the one downtown.
Okay.
And then there was a time where I was a regular customer at the one at the mall. Okay. And they would show me love. And the last deal they gave me, it was on my birthday in 2007. I got the LeBron 5 had just come out, the white and navy one with the patent leather and the gold. So I got them. I got the Hunt Pack Air Force Ones. They were these mids with like a plaid liner, and they were orange and brown. I got 2 hoodies and 2 pairs of LRG jeans for $200.
LRGs. Damn.
They never gave me a deal like that before.
That's a player.
Yeah, I felt like walking out of there. My father and my sister was walking around there. It was like, how much did you spend on all that? I'm like, $200. The LeBrons by themselves was $140. Yep. I'm like,
100%.
Yeah, that was good times there. That was probably the last great deal I got from City Blue at Randall. Okay. The 2000. This is hard to ask, but we're at the sports. So, 2016 Cavs or 2009 Cavs?
Now, I love the 09 Cavs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the 16 Cavs got the ring.
Got the ring.
So,
Got the ring.
I mean, I got to go with 16. You know what I'm
Got
saying?
you.
Just because we got the
Got
ring. You know what I'm saying? 09 Cavs, I fuck with them.
Mm-hmm.
16, we got the ring. If we would have got a ring in 09, I'd have been cool with that. That'd have been the highlight. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Last one before we move on.
Okay.
Jordan to LeBron.
This is to me. This is a very touchy subject too, Chris. Right
Yeah,
away,
people be
man,
getting mad at this shit,
hey,
man.
hey,
It's like
man.
real life bad.
Hey man, I have discussions every day. As a matter of fact, I had two just this week alone on this shit, and we only on Tuesday. All right,
Yeah.
was this Monday? Well, no, Monday. Monday we are
Yeah.
two already. Okay, so two yesterday is what I'm saying. Starting the week off, but Jordan all day. There's just Jordan is he's everything to me, man. I still haven't met him in person. I would love to meet him. That's on my bucket list. I love LeBron. LeBron is definitely a freak of nature. He's definitely a hell of a fucking basketball player. Jordan just did. It was just like the commercial, Chris. I want to be like Mike. I ain't gonna lie. That's exactly what it was, man. It's Mike all day for me. I was I go back and I still watch the air up there. I got these VHS tapes, shit sitting around. You know what I'm saying? Space Jam on the motherfucker. But all of that, man, the dude was so inspiring to me, man. I was doing some research. Jordan, he actually impacted the world's economy.
Yeah. $10 billion.
So it was just everything. MJ changed the game to what it is. I mean, and then he was just, to me, I don't know how you feel, but I'm gonna ask you after I'm done giving you what I think. Jordan's his willingness to win and his competitiveness was just like no other. He had a killer instinct that was, if you felt you was the best player on the team, he was gonna do everything to show your ass why you wasn't on the opposite team, on the opposing team.
Yeah.
He's just everything to me, man. I ain't gonna lie. Jordan's my guy. That's who I'm going with. Some people have a strong case of a 1A, 1B, which a lot of the LeBron go talk to me started to come out of the woodwork once he hit the points, the 40,000 points, and he's this on the assist list, and Jordan never did this and that. I think the name of the natural name of the game is supposed to evolve anyway. Okay, but I think Jordan set the tone. He set the tone for it. Okay, now LeBron is setting the tone for what he's at now, but I just don't think LeBron's impact to me was as great as Jordan's on the game, physically, mentally, all of that. The economy wise, I don't think it was. You never heard of a case of a nigga getting killed for some LeBrons. At least I haven't. But I remember when them niggas was outside of Randall waiting in the dumpster when the Cool Grays came out.
Okay. I want to talk about that when you get finished, but yeah.
I've seen it all. When the Cool Grays came out, not only was niggas waiting in the dumpster, me and my cousin Steve, his name's Fresh Weirdo. You probably know him.
Oh yeah.
Tattoos.
Oh yeah.
Stubbs. And man, we were in fucking Randall.
Even Stubbs
just came out of fucking I think it was Foot Action. We came out of he was buying them. Man, dude, somebody he walking, we talking, chopping it. Motherfucker came by, snatched the bag, snatched that motherfucker and took off.
I remember that day, Larry. It was March 3rd, 2001.
Oh my God.
I was there with my father.
Okay.
And by this point, this is 2001. I'm a waiter at Ruby Tuesday, Beechwood, when it was on Chagrin. Okay. And I had like 3 days worth of tips in my pocket. And when I saw all these niggas, I'm like, damn, I got like $400 on me. And I saw the cash. This is really before Now green dot, you got all this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't have a checking account at the time, but I don't know if you remember this. Other people remember it, but I swear, a nigga jumped from the second floor in
Damn,
Randall
I don't remember. To the first?
Yeah, Zach said yes to right. A nigga jumped from the second floor. You remember how high Randall was? I saw it. Because me and my father was looking like, oh, he jumped. Like, it was insane. Like, I never seen that. And this was 2001, so niggas wasn't even really reselling yet. Niggas just
Correct.
wanted those shoes. Like,
Correct.
niggas was just finding out about eBay 01, 02. So, I've never seen anything like that before or since. Niggas always talk about the 2011 Concords, and that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
I worked a bunch of bad releases with Zach that were bad, but nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was a riot in 2001 for them Cool Grays. Like, I didn't get them that day, and I had to get, I got some other shit instead. I think I got the Fab Five Barclays when they came out then, the first version, because I couldn't get the Cool Gray 11s, and niggas was closing the gates, and it was just shit everywhere.
Yeah, it was a shit show for sure.
It's me, you, Zach, and like 7 or 8 other people I either knew or didn't know yet at the time and knew later that remember how crazy it was at Randall for those Cool Gray 11s in 2001. Because, you could get the Concords. It took them like 2 weeks to sell out. You could get the Space Jams because there was a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
That Cool Gray was like a whole different thing.
Yep.
Like, that was the first shift, one of the first shifts in the game. Because I always say it's certain shoes that are like stair steps to the game becoming what it is, and to me, that's one of them.
That's one of them. Yeah, that's that Cleveland. Yeah, Randall was definitely some shit going on that day for them shoes for sure.
Yeah, because to me, I will just try to run through them right quick before we go.
Mm-hmm.
So that Cool Gray 11, that was 2001. To me, the next time I felt like it kind of got crazy for some Jordans was the DMP pack in 2006. That was pretty bad. Mm-hmm. To me, with the countdown packs, there were only a few that niggas really cared about, and the 11 and 12 was head and shoulders over everything else for most.
Yes,
niggas.
sir. Yes, sir.
For me,
even me, for sure.
I just wanted the 716 and 617 because I wanted a Hair 7 and a Carmine 6.
Yeah.
But the majority of those packs didn't really sell that. Like, I got my 3 and 20 pack when I came to Villa. It was still there, and it was like $100.
I love the 20 is one of my favorites too.
Oh, okay.
All
like black.
The 20, yeah, the white with the original, the white and black one. Okay. Dude, there was just something about them wings, man, the on your ankle and all, pumping them, man. I really like that shoe. I really like that shoe, man.
Yeah. I always wanted, because I have the regular white, black, and red one and the stealth one.
Okay.
I always wanted that quick strike one with the black strap and the MJ on it. I never had it.
Yeah.
I never had that quick strike one, just like I never had none of the regional ones either.
Okay.
I just have the CDP, the first one, and the stealth one. Those are the only 3 I have of the 20. I remember seeing the chutney and the red 20s in Foot Locker at Randall, like when the 21 that came out, and they were like $79.99. And I'm like, man, that's too much. This is a year old. I should have just got it.
Right.
But, to me, after that, it jumps to, I want to say the Titanium 23, but you couldn't really get them bitches, so they don't really count. After that, I'm going to jump all the way to the South Beach LeBron 8 and the Grinch Kobe 6.
Okay. Now the South Beach LeBron 8, and I'm not a big LeBron shoe fan. I only like certain ones, but that shoe to me is the best silhouette and it's the best colorway. It's the best shoe of LeBron that I come to like. I was pissed off. I actually I forgot when they came back out again. What was this? This is when Kicks Lounge had them. Kicks Lounge had to clean the beach. They came to we was out here. I want to say it was Edgewater,
Okay.
somewhere. They had to you clean up the beach, get the trash up and shit like that, and you pretty much penciled in for your LeBron 8 South Beach. I did that shit, and Chris, I think I ended up selling that shoe at a sneaker show because somebody actually, you know how when you have something that you really don't want to get rid of, you just tell a motherfucker a crazy ass price. I don't really. He's not gonna pay that shit. I'll be able to keep my shit. And this is when I was really transitioning into the resale game and going to sneaker cons and sneaker freaks in Columbus and all of these shows. And I think at that time this dude he really wanted it. I didn't want to sell him, motherfucker. And I think I told him like 3.25, and they weren't even going for that. I just was just like, He's like, that's it. Can I try it on? I'm like, fuck. I'm like, man, this dude, if he tries it on, I know he's gonna fucking probably want it. Man, he tried that son of a bitch on. He's just like, man, I'll take it. Put the other one on. He put them both on right in front of me, and put his old shit in the box. I gave him my card. He gave me the cash, and I watched the motherfuckers walk away. Now, I will say, I wanna get him again. I think I want to say Chili Kicks has my size. I think I'm gonna go back and get him. I'm kind of funny as far as like what you said, as far as like knowing if the shit's real. Like I don't want to go, StockX had their little, and it's like, damn, I'm looking at them on StockX, like shit, they only like like $100. So you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, dude, is the $100 bill gonna burn when or what? You know what I'm saying? Like shit. But I'm gonna go back and get those. Those ones I'm gonna definitely go back and get. Because I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't really a big, huge LeBron fan. Zoom Generation ones, I like those. I don't know if you guys, was it Next or Exhibition? Somebody who got the ones, it was just only a few pair. I thought Exhibition had got some or Next. What they came with a piece of the floor, or was it like something like that? You remember they had a couple pairs that came with an actual piece of the fucking floor.
Yeah.
From the I don't know if that was if that was Exhibition that got them.
I think so.
Yeah, but it was on. I mean, of course, you wasn't regular motherfuckers weren't touching those. So it was just that was just something sentimental that I wanted to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite LeBrons for sure.
Yeah. It's crazy to see shoes like that, or now the Kobe 8 has also reached that same fate where those shoes that have so much lore are just regular shoes now.
The Kobe 8. Is that it right there? So I had to get it with it, and I got it from Next.
Oh, okay.
From Mr. Lewis. Okay.
Exactly. Taking care of people.
Taking care of people. It took care of Big Cuz. I say I need those, bro. So he pulled a couple of his little dangly strings for me. So shout out to Zach. I love him to death, man. He's you know how
Yeah.
you know how rocky Zach can get sometimes.
Yeah. Nah,
So
I appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying?
appreciate too, for sure.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know. I mean, we could go on for hours.
Literally.
One thing I was thinking about, you and Zach think about this. What if we did a show that was based on releases, and we talk about if they sold or if they didn't?
That's actually good. I would love to do something like that.
We'll call it like the aftermath or something like that. You know what I mean? So, me, you, and Zach should do that. Maybe do it. I don't know. Once a week might be a little much, but what if we did it like if we did it every month, or if we did it every 2 weeks, maybe?
Yeah. That's definitely something I'm interested in for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, has anybody asked you about these aquas at all?
Yes, a lot of my older clientele for sure. They've asked me about the aquas. They've asked me about the shattered backboard ones. Um, it's one more. Damn it. Oh, and the steel tens. Steel tens I've been getting the most
Because
with the toe
that
cap,
box.
the box, and that toe cap. A lot of Chris, the ones that I had to get. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. So you got what is that the OG?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the ones that they re-retroed and had a fucking toe cap, I had those. The stealths are good. A lot of people been asking about those.
Anybody ask you about the undefeated,
No,
or is it still where?
it's crazy. I haven't really got a lot of hits on it. I'm gonna get a pair for myself because
Mm-hmm.
that was a shoe that nobody could touch then. Pretty much friends and family. You know what I'm saying? A lot of different things like that. But I will say this: so far right now, the Steel 10 is the most inquired about shoe for me right now. Aquas is the second.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right, before we go, let me ask you this then. So, how crazy was the black metallic 5 for you? That was unexpected as
So,
fuck. That's
very, very unexpected. Okay. Chris, man. So I'm gonna start off by saying this, and that's not to tell what I got going, but I sold like 32 pairs of those. Now, to get
32 pairs?
to get those, I sold 32 of those. I didn't know which one was the most that I saw. I think it was the flu game was the most that I sold so far this year. I think it was 40 pairs of those, and that was from fucking infants all the way up to adults. The 5, the 30 pair held, and I'm like, okay, cool, that was a nice little run. And then once the market shot up on them, Chris, of course, everybody and their mama wanted them, and they're like, oh, you got these 5s? Oh, you got these 5s? I'm like, dude, that shit's done. It's over with. Well, can you get them? I said, yeah, I can get them. I can touch them. But are you going to pay the price? Because at this point, the stores are sold out. So now I can only go to my reselling friends and reselling stores that I have connections with. Now, hey, if you want to pay the cost to be the boss, I can definitely get them for you. And I had a couple of people that paid the cost. I think the highest one I sold on that one on the back end was like 450, and I think I only made like $50 off of the deal. And after I drove it around to the dude, I might have only made 40. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is.
Gosh.
Now I do have a couple of those left. I think I got like a couple 6.5s and a couple 14s. Those different type of shoes like that hold a little value. I hold on to them, and it ain't necessarily just to see if somebody wants to buy them. I use a lot of shit, Chris, for trade bait, for shit I actually want. You know what I'm saying? So it's like and then I won't reveal all my secrets, but just like you, Chris, we've been in the sneaker game and working for Foot Locker, Champs, and these respective other sneaker companies. We've acquired a lot of people that we know. A lot of pull. We could pull shit a rabbit out of a motherfucking hat in a heartbeat. And most people will be like, man, how the hell you do this? And how the hell you do that? I said, dude, I've developed a relationship with these people for the whole time I've worked at Champs. When you start getting customers that have been coming with you, shopping with only you for 10 years, I mean, I was the leading salesman at Champs in Macedonia for the entire time I was there, my entire tenure. And that was not just because it was, what was it, SWAT, sell what's available today. I was the one that was in the back. They checking in shipment. I know I got a regular guy coming in. He wears 11 and a half, 12, or somebody else is 10 and a half, 11. Not only am I showing you the shit that's on the wall that you see that I got in your size. Because soon as you come in, hey Larry, what you got in this size? I can go straight to the wall, XYZ, and I'm pretty sure you could do it too. This is what we got in this. This is what now. If you give me 5 minutes, they in the back unpacking shipment, and you know everything at the outlet was fucking random. So we opening random magic boxes
out of
and I'm going in the
market
back.
shit.
Shit that you would even, and then they're like, well, how much is this? Man, I pulled a couple fucking shoes, the Dunks, the Area 51 Dunks. They had the blue pair and they had the brown pair with the Velcro check to come off. Okay. Now, believe it or not, those are some pretty nice on the market shoes. I got those motherfuckers for champs for $25. I was going in the back pulling those out for people. They had like 4 or 5 pairs of each. I was pulling them out. They were buying them. $29. Larry, this is pretty sweet. This shit, the fucking Velcro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that shit. But I actually catered to my customers. I cared about my customers. Not only because it got sales for me, but I love to see the reaction on their face. I love to see when people walk out and they got a new fresh pair of shoes. Hey Larry, that's the shit. They were calling me the shoe man before I fucking even started Fly Kicks Only, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, man, it's like I say, it's more personable with me than anything. Like I say, just being able to help this person get this, being able to drive up to you and drop it off. I done been to bar mitzvahs, weddings, the wedding reception. One dude wanted to wear him right after the wedding. He's the groom. I'm pulling up to him, and all of that, a lot of that stuff. That the word of mouth comes. When I'm pulling up, they're like, well, who the fuck is this guy in the van getting out? He got a Fly Kicks Only shirt on. Who the hell is he? He's dropping off a pair of shoes to him. I'm opening the box because every shoe I sell to somebody, I like to open it up. Here you go. Open it up. Go ahead, pull the paper back. I want to see your face when you pull it back. And when their eyes get to light up and the fingers get to going like this, it's everything to me, man. It's everything to me. It's I feel I'm for the people. And I'm not saying that any other reseller isn't, but there's not a lot like me. There's actually none like me. I consider myself a step above the rest, and that's no knock on anybody. That's just how I perceive myself and how much I cater the game for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, it's not many that I you know, it's you, it's my boy Madison, the Feet Geeks. No, it's him. It's only a few because most of the people that do it in the city, you know, I've been to Chili Kicks a few times when I was still living there. They was all right, but most people will be acting like hoes about the shit. It's like, bro, you need me.
I don't need you. This shit'll sit here.
Yeah, I don't, especially at Richmond. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if we ever sell this shit. This is like an outlet. We still get the new releases, but if I get one random Rashid Air Force One with an 04 on the side or a 30 on the strap, you know, so be it. The seller it won't.
That's it. That's it. Not a lot of people for the culture, man. I'm actually, I do it for the culture, bro. I do it for the culture. I don't do it for hype. I don't do it for looks. I don't do it for likes. I do it for the culture, and shoes is me. You know what I'm saying? So when you what they say, when I think it was Eddie Murphy on Coming to America. When you think of trash, think of Hakeem. I'm like, when you think of shoes, think of Larry. Think of Fly Kicks Only. You know? So come a long way, man, and I really appreciate the love that I've gotten from everybody. Have I gotten robbed? I haven't gotten robbed, but I got stiff for a shoe. I had a guy that bought a shoe on Square. Sorry, Square, but I'll never use your app again, ever. I'll never use that Square shit again, ever in my life. Because the guy didn't actually physically have the card. And I had the thing you could, you know, punch it in on your phone. And I punched the shit in, and it was actually on the pair of the metallic purple 4s. White with the metallic purple. As a matter of fact, those motherfuckers are like $600-700 right now. It's a lot of stuff that went up that I didn't think was gonna go up. But the guy, I punched the number in. He's like, oh, you know, it's my girlfriend. His girlfriend was on the phone. She gave me the number. Punched it in. Everything went through. Boom, the price I wanted. Boom, everything got deposited. A week later, he disputed the charge. Said somebody stole his credit card, and because I didn't physically swipe the card, they took the money, the $300 back that I sold them. I was shit faced, and I just said from that point on,
Yeah.
because I was
Yeah.
gearing up to take credit cards and shit like that. Right now, it's just I couldn't do it. I can't do it. I don't. That's the one thing I don't do. People ask me all the time, "Hey man, you think this? You take this?" No, I don't. But I am in the process of trying to get Afterpay, Klarna, all that shit, because I do feel that once I get that, Chris, that the sales that I have now is here. Once I get that, it's gonna be here, and then it will be more. It's more people friendly. People are okay. They don't feel the whole. Damn, I gotta pay 300 for this. That's what he want, or I gotta pay 280 for this. That's what he want. Now it's like shit. I'll just get it on Klarna Afterpay, and I'll pay $32 right now. I'll spread this shit out for the rest of the year. You know? And it's more appealing to the customer.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm leaning to. Like I said, I want to appeal to all walks of life too. Not only that, I've even stuck my hand in the basket for these Asics. Asics just made a New Balance. Chris, you see, yeah, you probably like, man, ain't no way in hell. Asics. Now I'm gonna tell you, Asics and New Balance, man. New Balance minus the the 574s, the 2002 Rs and the 1906s.
They go.
They go. Back then, Chris, wasn't nobody looking at that shit, man. They wasn't looking at it. A6, they wasn't looking at it, man. They wasn't looking
what
at
I was expecting you to tell me. You were selling more than the Jordans. I was expecting.
No. My buddy DS Kicks, he sells a lot of that shit. He sells a lot of Asics. But I man, Chris, I think since maybe probably about 5 to 6 pair, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just a lot of the younger crowd want that. My kids want it, and all of that type of stuff. But
Yeah, that's
no, I don't.
what my wearing 2002 Rs and New Balance 480s.
They got the 1000s now. The 1000s people are rocking them now. 1906. I mean, it's the wave. It comes in waves, Chris. It comes in waves.
Yeah. Now I only have one pair of New Balances. I have a pair of 1906 Rs. They like black and multicolor, but I got them they were at Plato's Closet. So I'm like, man, they're only $40. I'm looking at how much they're going for. I'm like, I guess. I called my son. I'm like, son, should I do this? He's like, how much were they? And I'm like, they're $40. It's $40. Yeah, you should do it.
So I do have a pair of 1906s. The only pair I own is the Soleil Benberry ones, the red and blue. I like those a lot. I don't have. I have one pair of Asics, the GL 1130. I actually got those for Christmas. Still haven't broken those out yet. Gray and navy blue.
Okay.
But other than that, since I do packages and shit, I actually bought a pair of Saucony. What the fuck? Which ones were those? The Saucony running shoe. I got it. It's over there somewhere in the corner. But I got that strictly for comfort to run around in, and when I'm out here to be comfortable. The 1906, the Soleil one, I haven't broken that out yet. That's one of the ones I do intend to break out before the summer's over. Give me a nice little outfit with that. Maybe some what they call them, the hoochie daddy shorts. I get some of those with it. And I want to while I'm still on here, I want to shout out Chaz. That's my guy. Chaz.
Oh,
that's my guy. He's
Chaz?
The light skinned Chaz
from Shaper.
He's to me he's the hoochie daddy king. He's the modern day dad. Man, I love his swag. He's like family to me.
Oh yeah, Chaz is hilarious. Yeah. I remember when he was at Villa, he was making these skits about how niggas speak up at the Villa.
Man,
I love that dude. Yeah, he's a good dude.
But other than that though, Chris, man, I love the game so much, man. It's definitely gotten watered down. A lot of people still ask me, "Hey, man, how were you able to survive in this?" It was a lot of what I call them, little Timmies that were out and just there for the hype at the moment, and now you don't see them, and they're like, "Man, you still out here chugging along?" I said, "Dude, You wouldn't believe it. I said, I don't boast or brag about it, but Chris, people call my phone every day for shoes, different types of shoes. Okay. When you got people calling your phone for all white Air Force Ones and they can go get them in the store, then you know you've touched ground. And people just want to deal with you just to deal with you. They don't want to deal with nobody else. A lot of these stores, I'm not gonna name them, but there's no, there used to be what they call, Chris, and you're familiar with it, the lease line. Okay, where it had to have been a certain amount of steps when that customer walks in that store, he needs to be greeted. Okay, that shit now, you don't even have that. You don't even have that walking into these retail stores now. It's very few far in between, and I notice it a lot because I used to work for Champs and Foot Locker. So when it's certain things I look for, I may bypass one person because he didn't greet me, and I'm going to the person over here who greeted me, who knows nothing about shoes. They just have this because they need a job. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? They don't know nothing about it. But hey, I want you to help me. You greeted me. You seen what I needed to do. Well, what are you looking for? It's a lot of that now. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's messed up, and I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the game. A lot of people don't appreciate the game like we do.
Yeah, like I remember back in the day before Next. To me, is with Next, it's before Nike and after Nike. Like before Next was selling Nike, because they didn't start selling until like 02, 03.
Mm-hmm.
Just go in there for the urban clothes, and if you didn't look like a drug dealer or an athlete or something, they wouldn't speak to you. Right. So a lot of people in the city still had that frame of reference from Next and how it made them feel. I remember how it made me feel. So I always remember whenever somebody would come into Next, I would always speak to them because I remember how that used to make me feel. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I might not try to sell you something, but I'm at least going to acknowledge that you're in the store.
That you're in the store, man. I don't know how it is down. I got some family in North Carolina.
Awful down here.
I haven't been in very, very many retail stores because I'm normally at their house, but I've been to Concord Mall.
Oh, I love
what's the other?
Concord, Bill. That's like an hour from here.
Yeah, Concord. Actually at Concord, man, when I was just down there recently, I'm like, man, you got to be kidding me. You guys got a True Religion store? And I'm like, really? I'm like, damn, it's True Religion. When it left Cleveland, it was like gone.
Yeah, they still wear that shit down here.
I'm like, damn, they got the whole store down here. Yeah. Everything. I'm like, damn, it was so crazy. I picked up a couple shirts while I was down there. Yeah. I picked them up. But I was talking to one of the guys down there at the Concord Mall. I think it was one of the managers. I'm like, man, I'm from Cleveland, man. We don't even. I mean, True Religion, you probably can find it now here and there. Gabe, some at Burlington's here and there, but it was real predominant for a
couple years.
Second, but yeah. And I was telling him, I'm like, man, you guys still got this? And he's like, man, this shit ain't never left. He said it's dominant down here. People are wearing it. California, they're still wearing it a lot. LA, all of that shit. So I'm like, wow. It's good to see certain things haven't changed. And people will be able to still be who they are. You're one of those people that haven't changed. You're still who you are. You know what I'm saying? So that's much appreciated. Don't just because the times change, that don't mean the person got to change, man. That's why I tell my kids, I say just because it's the new age, that don't mean the morals got to change. It's still the same morals to me. So, and actually, my daughter was working at JD Sports for a hot second. She just her tenure was there for a little bit of time, and I was real proud and had her in there. I'm like, man, yes, you know what I'm saying? And she loved it. She's a sneakerhead. All of my kids, all 5 of them.
Wow.
All 5 of them, plus the missus. Chris, I could show you this it's really the house is built from fucking shoes, man. I'm not gonna even lie. Shit's in every corner, man. Here and there, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they got their closet, I got my closet. Shit's not even, the shoes overpowering the clothes right now. So, but it's definitely, I figure, I told my girlfriend this when we first got together, and I offered to buy, shoes for everybody. She's like, huh? I said, well, to me, a family that J's together stays together. So that's how we roll. And now she's got more shit than I got. The kids want every damn thing, and now I'm going broke slowly but surely. Yeah, but so, but other than that, man, I pat myself on the back, man, because like I say, I pretty much came from nothing, Chris. Like my mom couldn't afford this shit, man, and it's like it's still locked in on it. Even though she couldn't afford it, I was still locked in. I said, one day I'm gonna get every fucking shoe that I want, and here we are, still going, still chugging along. I'm gonna have to get with you because I know you can. I know your figures are magical too to get a couple little pieces that I need to get my collection a little bit complete, more on the complete side than what it is now.
Yeah, what's interesting, before we go, I have to give a lot of credit to my ex-wife
Okay.
because most of my biggest sneaker moments, she either made happen or she was there for it to happen.
Okay.
So I've had some moments since, but
it don't feel the same. Do it.
It's just it's different just because for me, I'll just be honest. I'll be like, damn, she really fuck with me like this. Like,
Yeah.
she know I wanted these bitches, and she made sure I had them. So the most money I've ever paid for a shoe was a shoe for her. It was her 2020 Grinches.
Okay.
And I
How much
paid
was
more.
that, by the way?
Huh?
If you don't mind disclosing, because I can
How
give
much
you.
was it?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you once you're done. The most I've ever paid for mine.
Yeah. So for her Grinches, this was our anniversary in 2021.
Okay.
I paid $487 for them.
Okay.
It was one of the first times I ever did a pay in full. Oh.
Yeah. Minus minus the retail. The highest retail shoe was the cost, but the highest shoe that I bought resale was the Travis Scott SB Dunk. I paid $1,050 for that motherfucker.
Woo!
And it was from a guy. I couldn't hit at Westside. I tried. I went in there, put the raffle in, boom, 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 and didn't go. And it was a guy that got him from Westside. And I put on Instagram, hey, I'm looking for this shoe. Somebody called my phone and said, hey man, I got a guy right here. He's got the shoe. You want it? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I want it. How much you want for it? He's like, oh man, he's talking big numbers. I'm like, well, come on, bro. Spill it, all right? And he wanted $1,200 for it originally. I was like, fuck, man. And 1,200, man. I'm like, can we come down? Just I mean, I was looking to I would have at that time I would have spent $800 for it.
Right.
But he was like, man, I really want the 12. This is a super. Of course, this is a. I don't like to use the term regular, but this is a guy who was a regular guy, and he just really was there to get the shoe just to get it, okay,
right,
and resell it for the amount of money to make on it. I'm like, man, look, man, I just really want this shoe. I say, man, you can't come down a little bit. He say, I could do 1,100. I say, do that. Can you do 250? And I hope he's not watching right now. But I was gonna pay the 1,100, but he went 1050, and I said, fuck it, I'll take it. I said, you got everything with it? He pulled out the receipt, what he paid, had the store on it. I said, fuck it, I'm going with it, and bought it for 1050. We met at a Giant Eagle in Brecksville. It was like Brecksville.
Okay.
Yeah. And
safe area.
We actually went. We didn't even go outside of the store. We were inside of the store, and we stood, where they play lottery at, right over there, where you can play your lottery, customer service, stood right there. And a lady watched us. She watched me give him the money, watched him count the money. Everything was there. Once the deal was done, we both went on our way. That was the most I've ever paid for a shoe, bro. Ever. I don't want to do that shit again, neither. That's the most I've ever paid. Most I've ever paid.
Yeah, the most I ever paid for a shoe for me was 300.
300.
But yeah, that being a dunk guy, I would love to have those. It's not even the fact that it's Travis Scott. Like I really like the way those look.
Yeah.
And me, I'd want to have two because I would want to cut one and then I would want to just leave it the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But I'm gonna keep a lookout for you on those bread ones.
Definitely.
I didn't know that was a shoe.
Yeah. That's definitely one of the ones for me. The one.
And
I got size 9.5 or 10.
9.5.
9.5 preferably, but I'll do a 10 if I have to. So
I got you.
You know how that goes.
Yeah.
We got our ranges, Chris. Would you say yours was what? Between 11 and 12?
10.5 and 12, depending on what it is.
You
like if I'm wearing some Chucks, I can go actually down to a 10 in the Chucks.
As my dude used to tell me, he said, "What you mean between this and that?" He said, "Damn, you got them jail feet, huh?" I said, "Yeah, I got them jail feet. Yeah, I wear whatever." So
see, usually I'll just go with a 12 if it's like a raffle situation or something like that because not a lot of people wear 12s. They'll be a little roomy, but any store I've ever worked at, and you could attest to this too, like 11.5 is probably my true size, but it's usually only one or two 11.5s.
And sometimes the shit is a unicorn.
Yeah,
because there's a company that I know. I think let me see. Yeah, in Cleveland now that don't even get 11.5s. They don't even get 11.5s in their run at all.
Yeah. So if I'm not working at the store and I'm going, I know I'm gonna have to either settle for an 11 or a 12. And some shoes 11 is tight, especially if it's like a runner or something like that. I'll just get to 12.
Yeah.
If I can get it. So, yeah, man. Well, listen, man. Really appreciate you being on here.
You, man. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. I was waiting for my time.
Yeah, and let's really. I got your number. I'm gonna give you mine
for sure.
We should really develop.
I think I got yours. I think I got yours, Chris. If it's the same.
Yeah,
if it ain't changed
since 2014.
Okay. All right, well there you go. I got it.
Yeah. So, me, you, and Zach, we should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like twice a month.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good thing too, man.
Yeah,
definitely a good thing.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do the first show kind of in between the Aqua, after the Aqua, but before the Rare Air?
Okay. How do you feel about those Rare Airs too?
Yeah, to me they're going to do better than the 3s and the 1s.
Definitely.
I think that's going to be the one because even at 11, like I don't really know how that's going to play. It's a primary colors so the hood niggas can wear them, but I don't really know. You know how that is.
Look, I tell my one dude, I say, dude, it's a hood classic. There's a couple hood classics, Raging Bull 5s, hood classic. When they just came back out a couple years back, bro, I didn't even know Great Northern Mall jumped like that. Man, I'm talking about every hood nigga in the city. I thought it was gonna be a Beechwood. No, hell no. There's a lot.
And what's interesting, the 6 didn't really do what I thought it would.
Nope.
That shit should have came out in 2014.
Like you said, sometimes, man, they missed the window for the shit to come through. And like now, if they drop them air emissions now, I don't think the Veers, no. The Barry Sanders, no. The motherfuckers don't even know.
They have to do.
They don't even know.
They have to do that shit they do with the 95s and the bread ones, where they'll only make a certain amount of them.
That's it.
But see, it's like I'm okay with that. Like that's really what I wish I could do for Converse.
Okay.
Like I wish I could work in their energy department and kind of restore relationships with the players that used to wear Converse and be like, all right, we're gonna bring these back. We're only gonna do them in limited numbers. You can only get them at this time or at this place or whatever, and it's not hard to do. With Nike, it'd be the same thing. Like if I get with Junior Seau's estate since he's no longer with us, and I'm like, what can we do money wise, and then on the sneaker side, I might make 1,994 of them,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and just do them on sneakers. They're only on sneakers, and then maybe do 2 GR colors after. But that blue one, you ain't getting that blue one unless you get one of them pairs of 1,994. You know, stuff like that. You know,
Remember the black and Vogue green?
oh, man, I hated those. Those Oregon ones weren't bad either, but they weren't great either.
Correct.
I feel like them Oregon ones, you get them bitches at Champs. I know you can get the Oregon Dion's at Champs.
Yeah.
Them Griffey, what do they call them shits? The ones with the big bubble, the Max Griff.
Which one? The first one, the Griffey Max one?
Nah, they
the fresh water.
had an Oregon. It was one of them hybrid
Oh,
Griffies. It was called the Max
okay.
Griff.
Oh,
Had
I know
that
what
big
you're talking
wave.
about. The big ass.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
We had a million of them bitches at Next, but we never got the Oregon ones. And then I found the size run of them bitches at Burlington at Great Northern.
Damn.
They were $79.99. I should have got one, but I just was like, man, even if those Oregon, I just don't like this shoe, so I'm not gonna get it.
Oh, it's one other guy too that I have a lot of respect for, and it's your homeboy too, Diversified Soul. I love
Now,
him. My guy. His style is impeccable. Okay.
I think Nah, Quitter takes a lot of chances that we would only think of taking, but it's like, yeah, nigga, you go get them fat farm G's. You do it. I can't do it.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah.
You know, but he has such a. To me, and I'm not hating. You know, I love you, G. It's just he's tall and he's not thin, but he, you know, it's certain things that he can do because of how his body is. Like I'm fat and I'm short. I can't do certain things. This is not gonna look right. I can't wear stacked jeans like Zach because Zach is tall. You know, you got it right in the middle there. You sort of tall, but you ain't short. Like
I've tried to stack. I got one pair of stacked sweats, and I like the way they fit. I just don't like the fact that the shit drags on the ground, man. I'll be like, damn, man, I'm trying to put the motherfucker in the, I only wear a 9.5 shoe. So you try to, that bitch that covered the whole tip of the shoe. It's just, I was trying, and I wore them maybe about 2 or 3 times, Chris. And the times that I wore them, it either A, rained the night before or started raining when I was wearing the motherfuckers. So now the whole bottom of my shit is all wet, and you don't like that on the back of your shoe, especially when it's suede.
Nah.
I just was like,
I even when that was a thing, like I never liked for my pants to drag across the ground. Like I used to hate that shit.
I can't do that shit.
Oh man.
Zach's a different story. He wears a fucking 17, and his shit just looks like regular jeans. And
he was trying to sell me on those stack jeans for a good 6 months, and I'm like, I can't do it. Zach.
Can't do it.
I'm only 5'6", 5'7". This shit isn't gonna look right on me, But
I got you.
You gotta learn to rock them. Look at them.
Yeah.
Hey, it's gonna be a lot of banter and a lot of back and forth between the three of us when we do this show.
Exactly.
It's gonna be good.
Exactly.
I'm gonna come up with a flyer, and I'm gonna make a group chat for us, and I'm gonna do that.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I appreciate you again, sir.
I appreciate you, man.
It's a long time coming. I thank you so much for being here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Well, look, we're gonna talk soon. And,
yes, sir.
Thank you for everybody watching.
Yes.
My Liquor Poppy, Dre, I'll be at you in a sec.
I appreciate it. Y'all just give Fly Kicks only a holler if you need anything in Cleveland, man. I'm dropping it off to you. I'm pulling up.
He's pulling up.
That's it. All right,
That's
man.
it. All right.
Take it easy. Much love, Chris.
You too, man. I'll be in touch.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.